Riders ready, watch the gate.
Hey, welcome back to the Dirty Knobs Podcast. I'm your host, Hollywood Mike Miranda, and my co-hosts are, as always, JV James Vicente and EC Eric Carter. On this episode, we have a return guest. That's right, Mr. Greg Hill. Oh, he texted me and said, "Hey, I've got a few things I want to get off my chest," and I was like, "Oh, man, light the fuse, let this thing go." Anyway, I'm sure you guys will enjoy it. I'm sure there'll be outtakes and probably have a couple new commercials, so stick around. Enjoy the show. Yeah, factory jersey. Look at you.
See? Look.
Just want to point out,
Look.
two in a row. Two in a row.
You're going to give it to him, huh?
All right.
Yeah, back when
having issues.
Yeah, back when EC used to be the one that was late. I remember way back when.
It's 9:02 in my time. EC is it's unbelievable. He's never been this early or on time, I should say. 9:02.
Two in a row. You know what that means? That means it wasn't fucking dumb luck, bro.
JV, are you eating pizza or pasta? Or you yeah. You got a new role in this whole podcast thing now.
If I get it one more time, dude, it's a habit.
Hey, if you do it one more time, you have to read the stats.
That's right.
Oh man.
I love it.
Hey, first time for this to happen. Kind of a different episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, repeat.
What do you I don't know what you mean.
I know you don't know. Yeah. Well, we have a guest. We have a guest this week, and it is a return guest. And I'm going to tell you how it happened. I was texting. Well, actually, I was texting with 5 or 6 guys about coming on the show. And out of the blue, I get a text from our guest. And just a picture, an old BMX picture. So I sent him an old BMX picture. And then all of a sudden it dawned on me, hey, I said, "Hey, what are you doing tonight around 6?"
No way.
I said, "We'd love to record you again, talking about the difference between BMX now and the BMX in its heyday." And then he came back, "I'm down for sure." And then came the bomber.
Well, let's hear it.
It's the one I sent to you guys, the one that says, "Tell him, JV."
Tell him, JV.
I think he said something like he's got a lot to talk about.
He's got some stuff he'd like to get off his chest. I was like,
yeah, off his chest.
Oh, yeah, hell yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's what I said. That's interesting. That's going to be, I mean, well, without any further ado, probably, yeah, I mean, like you guys know already, he's been a guest before.
Yeah.
And he was at the time, I mean, he's been the most controversial guest we've had. We've had, a lot of chatter, a lot of comments when his episode was on, because one of the things I respect about him the most is that A, he has an opinion, B, he can articulate that opinion, and C, he's got the balls to just run it out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Without even mentioning his name, I figured EC would figure it out who it is.
And he is not afraid, man. I tell you what, he is. No, he's not. And and all the points you say, the A, B, and C, man, they're spot on. You know, he would be tough to argue against, because he comes with informed, I guess, or just, you know, I think he speaks the truth a lot.
Certainly the truth that he believes.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not discounting anything he says. I'm just saying that, you know, we all look at things from a different perspective, right? Mm-hmm. Or all of us can form an opinion with the information we have. And I think that, again, he is smart. He's articulate. He is not afraid to say it. And so I don't know that I've heard him say anything to me that I would argue against, but I'm always interested in hearing his opinion, because the other thing that he brings besides all that, EC, is he's legit. I mean, he brings a wealth of knowledge as a former professional racer, a successful dominant racer, a
Yeah.
company owner,
Yeah.
and someone who has raced in more than one, whatever you call it, one generation or one, he left the sport and came back and raced again. And
Aside from the, I mean, aside from the last couple of years that he hasn't really been involved, like with boots on the floor, if you will, he was, I mean, you can't say from the very, very beginning, but like darn near close to the very beginning till just recently that he's stepped away from the sport and decided to do his concrete servicing business and kind of step away from BMX as a means to put food on the table. So I mean, he's seen and done it all, just about. So yeah, well, turns out his camera's not working though. Neither is his mic.
Yep, you know what? There's a lot of things he is, but tech whiz
savvy.
tech savvy is not one of them.
He's not. He's clicked on.
Yeah,
He's
let's
there.
He must be staring at a penny or something.
he's concentrating.
He's getting focused, man.
All right.
Getting focused.
All right, he's off
There
mute
it
now.
Oh, the
Hey.
mic's on. He's hot.
Fine, bro.
Village is hot.
Hey,
Hey,
what about your camera?
dude, I'm trying to figure this shit out, bro. I'm technically challenged.
On the bottom left.
I got her.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
Where are we? Something's going on.
Hey, wait up. Pull your listen. Yeah, there you go.
This is kind of jacked up, but hey, it is what it is.
No, it's
We
good.
got-
There you go.
we
Give it to us.
got-
Yeah.
Oh,
We get it. Hey, we all have to do it. Hey, listen, this is
Hey.
what are you doing right now?
Can't
Pillage.
win against you guys. You guys are. It's like 3 against 1 right now.
Village, let's figure this out, man. What are you doing,
I'm
dude?
working on it, dude. I'm working on it, bro. It's
You got it. You got it.
technology is sometimes not my strong point.
Dude, it's in
Oh.
3D. It's like super zoomed in. It's weird, right?
Yeah, now it just jacked me right up again. What's the hell?
You're good, except for all we're seeing is your hat. So
This is the-
pull it
Yeah,
down.
dude,
There you go.
All I'm seeing is the damn Zoom logo.
Oh,
Oh, it doesn't. He's not seeing himself.
maybe you
I'm
got to
not
go
seeing,
to
I'm not
the.
seeing you guys. I'm not.
I think you got to go on the top right where it says view, and maybe click that thing.
Okay, I'm working on it here.
Yeah, you want to click on gallery.
Dude, I'm like.
Did it work?
We're driving the struggle bus right now, dude.
And I think
we
you're
go.
hanging onto the back bumper and getting dragged right now is what's happening.
Exactly.
Pretty much, man. Pretty much. Pretty much. Yo, EC, you're not eating. What's the problem? Where's
I
your,
know, dude.
where's your pizza and all that, man?
I just got home from work, bro. It's on its way, man. It's on its way.
The order's in.
It's in.
Right on.
We're doing wings tonight. I'm gonna get some wings here in a second.
Oh man.
Let me tell you, your mom reached out to me and asked me, how come you're not eating?
See, that's the first thing I was noticing. I'm waiting for the food. It's usually pizza folded over.
Or it's always something in there.
I
It's
notice
coming.
it's always like it's never a super healthy thing. It's like the pizza or
I have to, you know
I'm
what?
just
You're
saying.
right. You're actually right, Greg. And I've actually like, dude, the last couple of days, man, I've actually been trying to like tone it down because, dude, the belly was getting big,
Hey,
bro.
dude. We have a motto. If it's not in the pantry, you can't eat it, bro.
Dude, I will tell you. I will
If
tell
you
you.
just-
I will
Is
tell
that
you.
what she calls it?
If it's just not there, it's you can't have it, man.
No, I the other day I was just not feeling good on the bike. I was out on a road ride, man. I was just struggling to breathe and stuff. And sitting down. I'm like, dude, I feel like a fat pig, man. I can't breathe. This sucks. So I just, dude, I drove straight to the store. I think I bought 10 cans of tuna, a bunch of cucumbers, avocados, and dude, that's what I've been on. That and just chill. I just got to drop some weight, bro.
Good thing you're eating wings tonight.
Yeah,
But you got wings coming. So
wings. Tonight's my cheat night, bro.
That's maybe they're organic wings. I don't know.
They are organic wings. The breading on the tenders is organic.
Cage-free wings, you know.
That's right. And the sauce, the sauce as well. Super healthy.
Couple Coors Light beers with it, just kind of, you know.
Oh, dude.
Anyway,
yeah, man. I hate when I get over 200, dude. I don't like it. It don't feel right.
oh my God.
Yeah. So
I can't believe you get over 200.
Yeah.
20, dude. I was at I was more than this, but when I weighed myself a couple days ago, I was 204. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, it was. Yes, sir. I'm already at like 198 now.
There you go.
It's coming back down. I did 2.5 hours on the road bike this morning, and a can of tuna for lunch.
So now on the front side of this, if you start mowing down some pizza in like 7 minutes, you're gonna have that buyer's remorse thing. You're gonna feel bummed out. You know what I mean? You can always start tomorrow.
no. I'm also want to be realistic about when ebbs and flows, of course, but you can't do a diet where it's like, oh, I'm gonna have 6 almonds and 4 apple slices and celery, because it's unsustainable.
It doesn't last.
Yeah,
right.
So you gotta have cheat day, and we're doing.
You don't want to feel like a rabbit, you know.
Yeah, we're doing Wingstop. We're doing Wingstop or something like that. It's all.
There you go. Right on.
I like the Wingstop. I like them. Yeah.
I love wings, dude. I love wings. I love hot.
I could eat them every day.
I love wing sauce, dude. I mean, I really, really do love them. But as you get older, you gotta
control, man.
You gotta balance that shit out, dude. It's crazy.
Dude, I'm telling you, I don't like wings anymore. I love wings, but I can't eat them anymore.
Why?
What?
Because this is all white, and when I eat wings, I look like I got a red ring around my face. I can't eat them anymore. I got to go lemon pepper only now.
Take a shower when you're done eating or something.
Hey, I still want to do that wing comp thing that Joe turned us on to.
The wing off.
Yeah,
what?
wing
The
off.
wing. Oh yeah.
The wing off.
The wing off. Yeah.
Like the hot dog deal, but it's
No.
Like the hot ones.
No. So I put one together.
Hot dog.
I put one together for Seal Beach, California, a wing off.
Okay.
What you do is you have a group of friends and you go from one family restaurant to another that serve wings.
That makes sense.
And you only eat one wing.
At each place?
Or maybe two each, but that's it. That's all you eat.
Wow.
So they're like 2 orders of wings and the whole group gets 2. You eat them. You have your little sheet. You judge which ones are the best, what you like about them.
I got
Then you go on. It's pretty cool.
I thought it was like the hot dog. Who could eat the most hot dogs? Except you're doing wings. Like you're gonna eat like 20 pounds of wings or something.
No, let me tell you.
Your scorecard, your T-shirt, right?
Yeah. No. Yeah. And after every stop, you wipe your hands.
Oh.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's good stuff.
Hey, speaking of hot dog eating, I talked to a guy today. His name is Stu Thompson. And he told me, he said, hey, make sure you ask Greg about, I guess you guys would have eating contests all the time.
Yeah.
And he goes, it was if you could eat the whole thing in one bite.
Yeah, it was pretty, that's back when you didn't, I don't know, man. It wasn't the best thing to do, especially like a Friday night before a big race or some shit. And a lot of times it was like dessert. So we were getting like big pieces of cake, like big chocolate cake, and you just stick the fork in it and try to basically shovel it in. And yeah, we did a lot of that stuff. It wasn't very smart.
Oh man, that's crazy.
But
He also told me
hot dogs are awesome to eat until you know what they're made of, and then it's like I can't eat them now. I can't do it. but I've eaten a lot of them in the past.
Beaks and buttholes.
Yeah.
You know,
Chicken lips.
lips and snouts and guts and all that other shit, you know.
I'm a huge fan of hot dogs.
Scrape that shit off the floor and blend it up and chow it down.
Nothing goes to waste, bro.
Yeah, there's nothing better than a hot dog that's been on the cooker for a few, I don't know, weeks, and you take it off and you dunk it in a glass of beer.
Oh
And,
God. Yeah, didn't you do that?
oh
Yeah.
yeah,
I've seen
I
some-
didn't.
that
EC
was-
did.
You like
EC
buffalo
did actually eat it. Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, that's nasty, dude.
Yeah.
That's pretty-
that's nasty.
So did some 65-year-old lot lizard that was in there too. She ate it too.
Oh.
She was a grand champion.
That's awesome.
Dude, speaking of eating, I was supposed to ask you another question. Did you like your grandma's cream corn casserole?
So how, you know what? You talk to Stu too much, man. Dude, the magic casserole was once a year. You know, when it's one of them deals where you don't want to like hurt anybody's feelings, so you shovel it down and then you just grab that glass of milk and chug it, bypass the taste buds so you don't have to taste it. Yeah, dude. And then after that, we were rewarded with a bowl of spumoni ice cream, which is absolutely disgusting. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but
Yeah, it's terrible.
dude, it's like the worst shit ever. It's like if you wanted to piss someone off, you give them a bowl of spumoni ice cream. Before that, you give them some magic. Don't want to cuss too much. You give them some magic cream corn shit surprise, whatever we called it.
I think the cream corn casserole looks the same way on the way in and on the way out.
I'm assuming that Stu was digging it about as much as I was, but you know, you just shovel it in, and, you know.
Oh, he said it
Oh
was.
my God.
He said eating that was about as much fun as sitting on the center of the bench seat in his Datsun truck for you.
Oh God. Yeah, it's funny. We went camping. We seen EC just, I don't know what, it's been a month ago or something.
Yep.
Went out to Vail and went camping with my sister and my son and his family and all that. And we just sit around and we just bullshit about just all kinds of shit. And I went over to my trailer to get something, and we're at this place. It's all packed. Every space is taken. And there's nobody around my trailer because everybody's next door at my son's. And I hear this, somebody says, "Yo, butthead." And I'm like, oh, that's got to be somebody in BMX. That's EC. And I turn around, it's EC. We bench raced for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. It was great, man.
Yeah, it was great
Cool,
to,
'cause I didn't know a lot of things about you like it felt like I was interviewing you, but it was interesting. It was awesome to learn a lot of the other stuff aside from just how good you are on a bike. You know what I mean?
yeah, no, dude, I really enjoyed it. It was
cool.
when you told me you were camping there, and I was like, man, I got to make sure that I cut out early and get up there and go say hi to these guys, man, because it's
Yeah, it was cool.
the feeling is mutual, right? Like, I mean,
Yeah, man, it was awesome. It was great.
because we're always, dude. Let's be honest, Dirty Fest is awesome, but it's so busy, right?
There's no time to.
You're what? It's
You spend
crazy,
3
right?
minutes with each person and probably like after the weekend, I'm like, I didn't get to see like half the people I thought I might want to see.
Yeah,
I didn't
exactly.
even see half of the people.
How
Yeah.
often do you go out there, Greg?
What's that?
How often do you go out there?
I'd never been there before last year's event.
Oh,
So I went last year and I kind of did a tent on Stu and Tanya's spot. And then this year we just rented a trailer and we went and camped, and it was great. And then we had reservations for, I forget how long it was, a month after, 6 weeks after, to just go out and not to ride, but just to go meet
Yeah.
and just hang out.
yeah.
And, you know, like just
Yeah.
camp.
And it's
Yeah.
nice there. Yeah, I mean, dude, and it's
Cool.
it's nice also, like you said, to not go there for bikes or anything, just to hang out. The village
Right.
is nice. They have live music. I mean,
Right.
it is. It's relaxing.
Like I got to walk down from our space. I walked down to where that Friday night gig was, where they had the live music and everybody's eating, and then the basketball. I walked down there, but this time, you know, I got to like see more of it because you know, you walk around, nobody knows who you are. Like when we went Friday night, it was like 22 seconds in, we're like Crazy Ronnie's right there, and I'm like 30 minutes into Crazy Ronnie, like, dude, That's awesome. But you don't
Just-
see anything else. And then all of a sudden, all these people are cruising in and like listening. And so I don't see everything around it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
No, it was great. I was stoked to hear you guys out there and on
Yeah, it's
site
good.
and enjoying it, man, because it is really nice out there.
I really think that I really think you guys should have Mr. T, Crazy Ronnie, Crazy JJ, and Thomas Ingram on. And
Yes.
And just let them go.
let them go, dude. All you gotta do is poke the bear once in a while.
I don't even think we need to be on there.
You could just sign them in and just let them talk, dude. Be awesome.
There would be actually really wild. We would have to,
Yeah.
we would have to put some, we'd have to come in and Hollywood would have to edit it with subtitles, and he'd have to get a translator because half the
You have to
words
get a
wouldn't-
translator because there's a lot of NorCal pull and a lot
Yeah.
of NorCal Ebonics going on.
maybe
And,
maybe Romero could decipher it for us.
With Ronnie, it's just a lot of like if you, as you guys know, so if you were in the sport growing up with Ronnie, being on the gate with Ronnie, you know, no matter what he says, you know what he said, right? He could be speaking Chinese and we understand him. But if you put him against, like, if my neighbor was trying to talk to him, he'd be like, what the fuck's this guy saying? Are you kidding me? It's just unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
It is. That's actually true, Greg. Because if you think about it, like we understand Ronnie because we've been around him effectively our whole lives, so we
Right.
know exactly
Yeah.
what
Absolutely.
he's saying when he's communicating to us.
Yes.
I guess we understand his language.
Right. Totally. I'm telling you, one of the most awesome conversations I ever had. We were at an ABA National in Texas somewhere, and we just run one main because it was raining. It wasn't raining during the main, but the track was shit and it was wet. And so we raced our main event. Cecil Johns got first, I got second, and Terry Tennant got third. And at the finish, I must have sat for 20 minutes, and it was like they were one on each side of me, and I was talking with them, and I was just like, fuck, I'm trying to keep up. They got their own language happening. I'm
You
trying
don't-
to be like, okay,
You don't speak Vallejo.
I can get into this somehow. And I kept trying, but it was awesome. It was just great.
Hey, speaking of Ronnie, he's been on a tirade here lately
He
on
is pissed off, dude.
Is he again?
He's been though.
Well, yeah,
I
he's
think
always
that
been he's always been angry, but the Hornets Nest is stirred up again, huh?
I just think that the deal is he's never, I get a lot of shit from my friends, but it's good shit about, yo, you just say whatever you want. You just say, dude, I say what I feel, bro. And I don't have to deal with shit 30 years later because I'm saying what I feel right now. And if you don't like it, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. It doesn't matter. But I'm not going to be dealing with it 30 years from now. And Ronnie is like, all of a sudden, he's had that bottled up for a long time.
Yeah.
Hey, they said they were going to give him a Trans Am and they gave him a piece of shit, Ford Mustang. Okay. And now he's got it all worked out to the value 30 years later and all this. Dude, I told him 6 months ago and he messaged me. He's probably listening. Yo, Crazy Ronnie, Anyway, I said, you're never going to get anything from these people but lies. They're never giving you anything, okay? The ship has sailed. Oh, no, I had a long talk with BA. Too bad you can't get that time back. That's a waste of time. That dude won't do anything, okay? I told him, I don't even have $10,000, but I'll give you $10,000 if they give you your money. They'll never give you $1. They will lie to you, and they will talk shit behind your back, and that's that. You just need to just forget it and move on, dude.
I think he was hopeful, like after the Grands,
Yeah.
is where he had that conversation. I think he sent
Right.
a text or something, and
Yeah.
he said, "Oh, I had this I
Yep.
had the conversation. It looks good."
Wow.
And meanwhile,
that
nothing.
conversation is all about BA trying to get out of that conversation, trying to say whatever he needs to say to get out of it, right? To move on.
Yeah,
It'll
I
never
mean,
happen.
you're right, Greg. I don't know what I don't know what was promised to Ronnie. I don't know if he was promised a Trans Am. I know he didn't. I know the Mustang didn't compare to the Trans Am the year before.
No.
It wasn't even close.
But it's kind of like,
But
dude,
still,
if you're racing bicycles for a living, we're all racing bicycles for a living. We're all flying around the country. You got a car already, man. Okay. It's like, Mike, when you won the Nora Cup, did they give you a weight set?
No, I didn't get a weight set.
Oh, well, shit. What'd you get?
I don't even remember if I got anything or what. I don't remember what I got. Because that didn't matter. Sure.
No, you don't. It doesn't matter, right?
Right.
What happened there? Oh, there we go. Yeah, it doesn't. Did he slip a pedal?
Yeah.
He slipped the pedal.
He'll come back.
Wow.
He slipped the pedal.
He unclipped. What happened?
He did.
Oh, shit.
Dude.
He'll be back.
I'll finish it up. He probably got something he didn't need. I got 3 years in a row. I got a bench press set. Like I didn't need one of them, but I got 3 of them. Yo, you unclipped, bro.
I don't know what happened.
He slipped the
Flipped
pedal.
out.
I think BA unplugged me. No.
So
No, like I was saying, I don't remember getting anything, and because it didn't matter. What I got didn't matter. Winning the Nora Cup is what mattered.
Right, absolutely.
If Ronnie got, and I agree with you, Greg, if Ronnie was going to get a car of a Trans Am or what a Firebird or whatever it was, and he got a Mustang instead, I don't know. I don't know that they were advertising you're getting a Trans Am. I don't remember that.
Right.
I remember they said you'd get a car, but I don't remember what it was. I don't know if it's being based on that's what Brent got, that's what Brian got.
That's what it is,
Well, I mean, he had an expectation.
Right.
But correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't the car out there on Friday during the Pro Spectacular? Everyone knew what was up then.
Well, that's, let's put it this way. Probably one of the reasons he actually won is because that car was out there and he was so pissed off about it. It probably served him, But here we are again. It's 40 years later, and you could go down Facebook, random shit people post. You can see, and T, I'm sorry, I'm throwing you under the bus, but you're getting it, bro. You post a bullshit picture of your bike. Nobody gives a shit. Okay. Your bike response to a thread is fucking stupid. Okay. And now Ronnie's doing the same thing. He's chiming in on stuff that isn't about any of this. And then he's just given a massive long paragraph about ABA sucks and they rip me off. And to just bring it out on every thread, it's unbelievable.
We have to, EC and I have to reel James in all the time. He wants to post pictures of his bike in the middle of people. Someone's talking about their mom made him a great dinner, or and JV just wants to post a picture of his bike in the middle of their conversation. It's like, JV, don't do that, man.
That's great. It's so awesome.
I've messaged with Terry a little bit about that and about, I think Terry still holds out hope that there's sponsorship opportunities and things like that. And I've kind of told him, like, dude, it's gone. Like the party's over. Like, be grateful for what you got to do, and be grateful for the talent that you had and the accomplishments that you did. I mean, dude, Terry won a lot of races, man, and he was really, really fast, and he's still fast.
Hey, he won Frogtown again.
That's right. So he's still fast, and he's still a fast bike rider. But the days of him getting a wage, or any of us getting a wage, dude,
you're not
the
getting
top
paid
pros
to
in the
go
world
play,
don't even get a wage.
A sport that you enjoy playing as an adult. It's a hobby, right?
Right. Well, I mean, like I said, a lot of the top guys in the sport right now that are making AA mains all the time, they're not making a wage, and
they're not.
So I do feel bad a little bit when I see that those guys they get hung up on some things like that. And I like those guys. I like talking with Terry. I like talking with Ronnie. I actually do enjoy it, even though sometimes you get stuck in that. But I do feel bad because I want to see those guys not be so hung up on the past, because it's keeping them from enjoying the future.
I think it's the problem is they have never dealt with it. And now they're dealing with it. They're pulling it out after 30, 40 years and they're dealing with all these things. And it's like, yo, when I retired, when I retired, it's like I was at the ABA Grands in 89 and I raced my second main and it was all good. And I was in like 5th or something overall. And then I raced the third main and halfway around the track, I was winning. So I would have won the race, but we had to do a rerun because 3 riders crashed before the crest of the first jump. And then in the rerun, I crashed and totally severely dislocated my shoulder a month before. This is awesome. A month before my contract expired, which is great. That was like 40 years ago, man. Who gives a shit? It doesn't mean anything today.
Yeah.
There's no need to hold something in for this long and then decide you want to go out and just like, I want to rail the USA BMX hard. And I plan on doing that here a little bit. But I'm going to be talking about real shit that's happening today, that's happening last month. And I'm not talking about it in terms of they screwed me. That's done and over with, It's like,
we had our time.
It's behind us.
It is, and it's behind us, and just be grateful that we did have our time and that we were able to, we were lucky and fortunate enough to be skilled enough that we were able to travel all over the world.
Yeah, for sure.
Time
Absolutely.
to make a wage. So
riding a bike.
That's how I look at it.
A kid's bike,
And so I mean, I could go down the line of contracts that fell through or companies that didn't pay me.
Right.
I mean, dude, it's a long list. It's just boom, boom, boom. And it's, $4,000 here, $5,000 here. I could be bitter about that, but then it would just get in the way of the good memories that I have.
Pretty much. Yeah.
All the BMX. And
Absolutely.
I choose not to do that.
Yeah.
That's it, man.
Yeah.
Hey, Greg, I think, but your current issues, we're going to get into that, I'm sure. But you and Ronnie see eye to eye on that, because I don't know exactly, but I have talked to him a little bit and what on social, he's not happy either with BMX today.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. So you guys are eye to eye on
I sympathize with him because I know when he talks, he really, like, if you ask him what the number one issue that he has, I think he would tell you it's about the kids and it's about the future of the sport. And, I think maybe he had to deal with his own issue with the ABA to get past that, to realize that, well, what about today? And what about the kid that wants to, try to go into the future in BMX, and the 12-year-old that turns 19 and he can have a future? But you can't have a future. There's no future in BMX, man. Right. I don't care who you are. I never met any of the top pros from today. I know they're fast. I'm impressed with Joris Dade. He's incredible. He's the in my opinion, but the numbers you can't argue with the numbers. He's the best guy that's ever raced, period. Okay. He's won races for a longer period of time as a professional BMXer than anybody who's ever raced a BMX bike. His time frame of winning, and he's not done yet, is longer than anyone else's.
Yeah,
I have a buddy who's an electrician that makes more money than he does. Okay, see what I'm saying? Like, I know people that have normal sales jobs, or they are a small contractor and they make a better living than this guy who's, been winning pro races for over 15 years now or whatever.
Who's arguably the best who's ever done it.
What's that?
Who's arguably the best who's ever done it. Not just good, right? Like, if you're
a lot of time, I think a lot of people.
I was going to say, if you're the best, or even considered in the conversation,
right,
to be the best that's ever done it in any given sport,
right? It's like this. It's kind of like this. How I think, like, I watch motocross a lot and I love it, right? And so when we go back to last year and we're watching the battle between Eli and Sexton and all this, and everybody's arguing, oh, Sexton's the fastest guy in the world. He's the fastest guy. Yeah, okay. So check it. Chase Sexton last year was the fastest motocross rider for 3 laps that there is. But the race isn't 3 laps. So when I talk about someone being the best, I'm not saying, well, Ronnie, people say, oh, he's the GOAT. Well, yeah, he won 1 title and he was fast as shit during that run. But I'm not talking about that. And I'm not talking about who was the fastest, like who won practice and who pops off the fastest lap times. And when I say who's the best, how long did you do it? Did you win a national over here? And 14 years later, you still won another national? Dude, you've been winning for a longer period of time than anybody who's ever done it.
Yeah,
you can't argue that.
No.
Yeah,
Is anyone arguing that?
No,
No.
I don't know that they are. I was just kind of using it as an example.
Oh, yeah.
I think what Greg is really saying is that when someone wins like that, is so dominant for so long, there's nothing more to be said about that. But but at that level, he should be able to make a great wage, a great life,
dude. That's my point.
And Greg's saying is that even at that level, at that highest level, you're not doing it.
This is
but
that's what I was trying to say. So
Yeah.
that's the correct way. If you've done that good for that long, man, you deserve. I'm not saying you deserve to have $50 million, but dude, you got to deserve at that point. Give yours another couple of years because he's still in awesome shape. He got to be able to park his bike and chill.
Yeah,
he won't be able to.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
But I mean, it really what it boils down to. I forget who I was talking to about this, but I think it has to do with a couple things. One, exposure, right? It's not. Yeah. They're not filling stadiums. They're never going to fill stadiums.
It's revenue. No. It's all about revenue.
It's all about dollars.
Yeah.
Just numbers. Just numbers.
That's it. That's it.
And the product that they sell is a boutique, very unique, small in the grand scheme of things, that, like you said, it's numbers.
Right.
It's a small scale of production and sales and stuff. So there just isn't the money just doesn't exist, man.
Right.
It's just not there.
The money isn't there. And like, so there's everything comes full circle and everything connects, right? So when people say, oh man, USA BMX sucks, they don't pay the pros enough, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, USA BMX sucks. I believe that. But it's not their responsibility to pay the pros, all the pros money that they get. Where they could pay the pros, if they actually, dude, it's so simple. And I don't understand why no one gets this. And I've been preaching this forever and everyone throws me under the bus for it, but I'm going to say it again. You have 300 tracks in the country. That's nothing. Do they have 300? I don't know if they do anymore. There's not a track in Orange County. There's not a track in San Fernando Valley. There's not a track in Simi Valley. They don't have tracks like they used to.
Right.
If you don't have tracks, you don't have ridership.
That's right.
If you had 1,500 BMX tracks operating across the country, what is there, like 25,000 Little League soccer fields in this country? Maybe more. Maybe there's like hundreds of thousands. I don't know. But if you had 1,500 tracks and everyone could go out and have a good time, you'd have a massive amount of people racing. And then instead of a company, you know, people are like, why'd you shut GHP down? Oh, he couldn't make it work, this and that. Dude, I did it for 15 years. Everything was fine other than the fact that we were one of the top 5 frame companies. We sold like 2,000 frames the last year we did this. I don't know that a lot of these companies sell 500 frames a year. They're giving them away. But when we're selling 2,000 frames a year and we can't make it, I'm like, this industry blows, man. I got to get out of here.
Well, if you sell 2,000 frames and you're making $50 on a frame, you're not making any money.
That's right.
And that's the thing. I mean, we were, you know, a lot of people are like, well, you're getting them from China, so it's only costing you $50. And I'm like, yeah, I guess you're not looking at all the pieces, but yeah, you're buying them from China. You're having to ship them over. You have to have insurance. You got to advertise. You got to pay a phone bill. I got gas. You got a lot of expenses. So you're into the frame that was $50 now for like $150, and you sell it for $400. But then you get like, yo, dude, I bought 3 frames already. Can you hook me up with one? Yeah, dude, let me just give you one. Fuck, just roll on over. Let me fill your car up, dude. Because you know what? Check this out. We don't need to eat this month. Fuck it. Just come over and take some shit. That's BMX.
Well, I'll tell you, back, that's funny, Greg. Back to one of the points you said about
Unbelievable.
The numbers game and stuff like that. You know, it's like the sport of BMX is so segmented now, right? It's really, really specialized, right? So what you have is a BMX race bike is so much different than a BMX dirt jump bike, right? And then now you have bikes, and then you have bike life, wheelie bikes, and they're so different, right? And so they've really branched way far away from each other. They're
so you're one or the other is what you're saying. It's not like
here's
before,
the thing, right? You have a guy like let's say Jet Lawrence, right? So Jet is the new phenom, and he's doing fantastic. He's an amazing, talented rider, and he's winning Supercross. And there are kids that never ride Supercross tracks, but they have a motorcycle that looks the same as Jet Lawrence's bike, and they go out and they trail ride with their dads, and there's a connection there.
Absolutely.
But when you go buy a dirt jump bike at your local bike shop, or you get it at your mail order, or whatever, however you get it, right? It looks nothing like these super long wheelbase dragsters with no seats.
That's right.
And so it doesn't they've cut their I guess their key demographic in half.
Right.
Or more, right? Because more kids are buying these dirt jump bikes because they're street bikes. You can ride them anywhere, and you can ride them at the track. Go try to take your dragster with clip pedals and go ride it on the beach. Well, you can now because they have the raised posts. But when we raced, and it seemed like it was one big family, right? We dirt jumped on our race bikes.
It's one bike. Yeah,
exactly. And I think it's really fragmented apart. It's really separate, man. They're two.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, and I agree with you. But there's a component here that's lacking that makes it not work, and that is there's not enough people. Okay, so 30 years ago there was 20,000 licensed BMX racers. I don't care what anyone says. I've run the numbers. I've seen the numbers. I know what is going on. There has, USA BMX will say there's 60,000 members. Even that's not very many. When I stopped doing GHP, I think it was in 16 or 17, they had like 16,000 licensed members. Okay. When you have 16,000, and you know what? I guarantee you they have the same today. When you have 16,000 members and you have 200 frame companies, do the math.
Yeah.
And you have 200 frame companies that are all making forks and bars and bullshit. You have no audience to sell to. And then the biggest chunk of the audience is the bro deal, hook me up support team. I got a package for $2.99. I got a frame, a fork, a jersey. How the hell do you stay in business, dude? You don't. Like, I'm going to say this right now. I'm going to get blamed for it. But again, it's cool. It's cool because you know what? Next week, I'm going to do a floor, man. And they'll let me park right by the garage. They won't ask me to park down the street 15 houses away from the house I got to do the job at. Okay.
And charge you $15 for it.
Charge me. Yes. So point being, I can say this and not have to pay the price. But here's my deal. I look at Tangent and I see they're everywhere. They do a great job with marketing. Their product looks beautiful. Rich is a cool dude. Okay. I don't know him well, but I got nothing bad to say. And I don't think that they're raking in the cash because of the fact that it's the bro deal hookup. There's not enough real customers today. There's just not.
Yeah.
But
I could pick up the phone tomorrow. I could have one of my buddies pick up the phone and give him, here's what you need. Here's a script of what to say. And he can call Supercross tomorrow and he can get a bro deal. He'll get a bro deal. That's it. You try to do that at the grocery store. Yo, dude, I've been to your store over the last 30 years about 8,000 times. I've bought in like 9,000 gallons of milk. Can you give me this one? You know, they're gonna laugh you out of the store, dude. They don't care how many times you've been there. Shit costs $6. Pay the $6 or get the hell out of line. That's not BMX.
I don't know. I think JV's mom, she used to be able to get those discounts.
That's right.
JV's mom was quick to, she used that. She was the original Karen, man. JV's mom used to always say, I want to speak to the manager. All the time, every hotel,
Oh my
I want to
God.
speak to the
It's
manager.
immediate. It was immediate.
You know, I look at the issue of BMX, and as you know, or may not know, I'm a track operator. I have a
Yeah, for
track.
sure.
And the way I see it, it's a bigger picture that's smaller, right?
Yeah.
I go by the birth rate. The birth rate in the United States is shrinking. We're
Yes.
having less children.
Right.
Of the children that we're having, how many of them are even exposed to bicycles at all?
Yeah.
I
Not
mean,
much.
back when we were kids, we rode our bikes all the time.
Absolutely.
We didn't have all the devices to entertain us.
Yeah.
And then I go back to the piece, and this is directly what you guys were talking about, the piece of the pie of the bicycle industry sales. It's you know, the piece of the pie that's juvenile bikes is maybe, let's say it's a third. But of juvenile bikes, what is that? That's the Walmart bikes that are intended to have a 6-month shelf life. They're not made to ride on the track.
No.
Then you look at park bikes, if you will, or you know, the bigger BMX companies that make park bikes. Holt, for example.
Right.
That is even a smaller sliver of that pie. When you get to BMX racing, BMX
like-
racing is right up there with unicycles for the sliver of pie. I mean,
Right.
it's tiny. So there's just not a lot of money coming in.
No.
So you can't expect a lot of money going out.
There
And then
won't
when
be.
you
There's yeah.
and then when you start discounting on top of that, then there are the legitimate people that you have to give stuff to. Your
Yeah, you
factory
have to,
teams,
right.
your then that just cuts right into your profit margin.
Yeah.
You see, you have no money at all. It's just it is
But
difficult.
really-
I don't know how they do it.
Yeah.
I'm grateful to anyone in the BMX company that or business that wants to try to do it, because it
Right.
has to be out of passion, because it damn sure ain't
Absolutely.
for money.
Yeah, you can't put together a really intelligent marketing plan right now, business plan to say, yo, we're gonna invest and we want to get into the BMX market. It'd be like, yo, you might need to go get your head examined. That's
Yeah, there's no one's gonna look at that
way
business plan and say yes.
you cannot find an angle that's gonna make that work.
Yeah.
But it's expensive too. I mean, I know that we're in different times now, but even if you try and like, you know, even it out, I mean, the bikes today are more expensive. The race bikes today, I should say, are more expensive than they were
That's right.
before.
And so is the cost of racing.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything's
All
more
of that's a
expensive
problem.
and-
Yeah.
But I still feel, and I agree with everything that you guys have said. There's more technology. Kids don't go outside. They're not riding bikes. I get it. But, you know, every industry have big players that drive the demand for the industry's products along with their own products. And they do things that basically create traction for their industry. Any industry you look at, you can find the companies that all do that. But you cannot, in BMX, there's only one sanction, and they don't do that. And what really I don't get, and I trip out when people say, well, it's all about the money for them. Well, no, it's not. Because if it was all about the money for them, they'd probably cut their nationals in half and try to figure out how to get more tracks, because you got to buy a membership to ride the track. And you got to send in a sanction fee every time you drop a gate. I don't care if it's practice, race, whatever. If you had, just do the math, man. If you had 12 nationals a year and they were on Saturday and Sunday, and you had 1,500 local tracks running races all the time, all throughout, they would make 20 times as much money as they're making right now. It's just that simple. Anybody watching this podcast, sit down with the calculator, get your pencil and your paper out and do the numbers. And I'm so sick of hearing, oh, they're all about the money. They don't care. No, they're all about stupidity. They don't know how to add. USA BMX doesn't get it. B.A. Anderson is, you put him in a different industry and ask him to be the CEO, I'm telling you, he's going to last 30 days and be fired. Okay. Shannon Gillette, he's not going to be able to work for an industry like a Fortune 500 company and to be able to make that company have a return on investment because his personality, it sucks. Okay. Period. If you're listening to me, maybe you could work on that. Try to be a little nicer. It won't hurt you. Okay. You don't have to be a dick all the time. Okay. And that's what I dealt with all the time. So they don't do anything to help on both sides of the fence. They don't help people who are in there trying to make their BMX company work. They treat them like crap. I could go on for days about it. I watched it. I lived it. But then on the other side of the fence, they don't try to figure out any kind of marketing plan to go, hey, we only have 300 tracks. What's wrong with this? Oh, hey, we've only had 300 tracks for like 20 years. What's wrong with this? Oh, by the way, when we absorbed the NBL, we were going to keep them going and give people 2 flavors, but that lasted 20 minutes and we just shut that down. They don't have any common sense on how to run a proper sanction, because if they did, they wouldn't have stagnant numbers for the last 30 years. I'd like someone to prove me wrong. Please.
I don't think you're 100% wrong on any of that myself.
You know,
those points.
BA's dad came in and he bought the ABA and that was great. Okay, that's cool. And BA is in charge of the place. That's great. If you can't get the job done, get out of the way and get someone who can do the job. You hired a guy like John David to come in, who was the big business guy for 15 years or whatever. I'd have meetings with this guy. He would talk and try to use all his big words and put all this stuff together. And we're going to do this, this, and that. And then nothing ever happened from it. Nothing. Then they hired some guy. I don't know if he's still there, but he was some marketing genius and he was supposed to change everything. And hey, I don't go to the races. I'm out of touch. I don't know jack shit, but I got a lot of friends, man. I'm 60 years old. I have a lot of friends. I pick up the phone. Oh, they had 170 motos at Lake Paris. Oh, that's a national. Wow. I remember going to Lake Paris 25 years ago when they had 400 motos.
400.
Okay.
And eight people in the gate back then.
And
not
the
4
gates
people,
are
5
filled.
people in the gate.
So the sport is not getting bigger. It's getting smaller.
Oh, it's smaller. It's certainly smaller than it was when we raced.
It's
by
definitely
far.
diminishing.
Yep.
And so when people say, oh, this guy's old and bittered, believe me, I'm not bitter at all, man. I'm probably one of the happiest people. Like, I'm not bitter at all. If I spent this much of my life in doing something, I'm going to have a love for that.
Of course.
No matter if ABA, XYZ, Joe Blow is running races, I love BMX, man. So I'm not all about, hey, clips suck. No, there's a time and place for it. But asphalt turns and, oh, well, they can't maintain the tracks. Well, okay, cool. Well, shit, I must have spent 25 years in a sport on accident. I didn't see any asphalt berms and it worked just fine. And people are like, oh, well, you're from the back where there was flat turns. Really, dude? You want to know the best track ever? Let's talk about 1985 South Park NBL, Pennsylvania. If that's not one of the most badass tracks ever, with big berms, downhill, nice jumps.
No asphalt.
No asphalt.
Yeah.
Okay. And
I feel the same way about Louisville, dude.
They figured it out. Louisville as well. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So what's the problem?
Yeah.
I go to Nashville. I go with Nashville.
And Nashville.
That's another one.
Let's just, drag strip down the first straight.
But they did have asphalt.
Yeah, but not
They put about 30 yards of asphalt out of the gate. That was it.
Asphalt, and I'm cool with that because let's face it, you're going 30 yards on the asphalt only helps you get up to speed. I don't
And
want to
you
go
need it for those
elbow to
jumps. You
elbow
need
with
it for those
in
jumps
an
in the first
asphalt
straight,
turn.
man.
Thank you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, but I feel like the management of our sport, it's being mismanaged, and so I can't spread that out other than to USA BMX because there's no one else.
Yeah,
True. You know, and people are like, well, if you can do it better, do it yourself. That's not the point, dude. The point is to talk about why is it not happening, and the other point is to talk about why there's nobody within the sport that has any courage to approach them and discuss this stuff, because everybody's like, oh man, I wanted to do a podcast about 4 or 5 years ago. These guys are good friends of mine. I'm not going to say their names, but you can probably figure it out. But I wanted to air it out, and they were like, oh man, we can't do that. I'm like, yeah, you can't do that because you wouldn't be able to put your tent in your vehicle where you want to put it every weekend for your camps and stuff that you're doing. Okay. And you wouldn't want to jeopardize your relationship with USA BMX for those summer camps. Right. Seriously. So yeah, people don't want to talk about it. Nobody wants to talk about it. So meanwhile, you know, they're doing what they do and no one keeps them honest. And then if anybody brings it up and talks about it, then they just get, oh, that guy's the biggest jerk off, this and that. Well, that's cool. I'm a big jerk off. I'll be around. I go to some events. I'll go to Dirty Fest. I might go to Frogtown. And if one of these people from USA BMX thinks I'm a jerk off, that's great. Come up and talk to me.
Well, they won't talk to you at Dirty Fest, and they won't talk to you at Frogtown because they're not there.
They don't go because they don't care.
Well, I don't know if they don't care.
Well, they go to
I don't know why they
either
they don't have time or whatever. I don't know why well, listen, I know why Shannon doesn't go. Because I've invited him both years.
So many races. I get it.
Yeah, I get that. And I totally get it. After every weekend of being gone away from his wife and, you know, away from his home.
I totally get that.
I get that part of it.
You know what I want to say this because I never got to say this. I'm doing a Ronnie right now, but it's kind of funny. I think I touched on this with Eric when we were camping. But back when this guy named Gary Aragon got involved with the NBL towards the end of their demise, okay? He approached me and he says, listen, I want to bring you in to our national series. And what I want you to be on the board so you can give your opinion and help us with some guidance from a rider and a manufacturer's perspective. And for that, we'll put your name on the national series. You'll have banners everywhere. It'll be awesome. So I'm like, how do you say no to that? You can't say no to that. So we did it. I signed a deal and it was 2 weeks before Interbike. We go to Interbike. Shannon Gillette walks up to me. He's got a rolled up USA BMX magazine under his arm and he pulls it out. Dude, mind you, there's no tact to this deal. There's people around, okay? So don't tell me that I'm coming off like a jerk off when you don't know how to approach me and talk. Pull me aside and say what you need to say. But when you're going to say this in front of like 12 people, I'm going to uncork my shit on you. So he says, hey, look
like this. Did you start like this?
Listen to this, okay?
Then
The hand had to come out. It had to. All right. But he pulls his magazine and he starts thumbing. He says these exact words. And if he says he didn't, he's a freaking liar. He says, wow, it's too bad we're not going to see any more GHP riders in this magazine, huh? And I said, really? That's really what you want to do that right now? So I said, step out into the aisle. Step just 5 feet over here. So I said, I'll tell you what. I cannot, as a company, afford to sponsor the ABA series. I wish that I could, but I can't. And I'm not going to pay a bunch of money to get a small little banner. It's not worth it. I advertise in your magazine, though. I pay $1,500 every month to have my full page ad in there so I can get a spot to put my. So I said, you can take your magazine and you can shove it where the sun don't shine. Okay. That's what you can do with your magazine. I don't need your magazine. You know what people do with your magazine? They read it while they're on the can taking a dump. Nobody spends any quality time reading that. They don't. Okay. It's a shit rag. That's what people do with it. So what is your point here? And he's like, well, you know, I said, What you need to do right now is you need to walk away before all these people see that you are going to get your face smashed in. I don't need to listen to you. Just get away from me. And then 20 minutes later, BA comes up to me. Hey, you don't have to block. I said, fuck that. You don't have to walk over to my space of business here and be a jerk off. There's no respect. What the hell do you want me to do? And he says, well, I tell you what, forget about Shannon. And if you want, I'll make a deal with you, but you got to give me an answer in an hour. He goes, get out of your NBL deal and we'll give you 2 years of national sponsorship with ABA. You'll have big, huge banners everywhere, every national, everything. And I said, yeah. And that's the only thing you think I want, right? He goes, well, isn't it? I said, no, it's not. I really would like to have some input. I'd come to Arizona on my dime every other month to sit down and tell you what I'm seeing at clinics and what I'm hearing from people and give you input. I would like to help steer our sport that needs help. Oh, that's a great idea. That would be awesome. Okay, cool. Let's do it. So I did it. I never went to Arizona. They never once had me over. I offered, oh, we can't do this. There's no time. That's not. I never went over there. And then I started to talk about it because they wouldn't listen to me. And then I get phone calls. Good friends of mine that are selling GHPs that have teams with 40 and 50. Whoa, he unclipped again.
Yeah.
Guys that have 20 and 30 riders on their team, support teams for GHP, calling me, hey man, Hillage, the guys pulled me into the trailer this weekend while I was signing the team up, and they told me that you're crazy and that I need to not be dealing with you and this and that.
Wow.
Yeah, that's exactly all the truth, dude. I have no reason to make this shit up, okay? All I do is love the sport, and these people just treat me like crap, and they don't have the balls to stand in front of me and say what they need to say. They just never have, and they never will. Yeah. And it's not because I'm like thinking I can, like I'm some big bat. They just don't have courage to be a man and stand in front of me and discuss the issues. And that's it. And so yeah, after like 4 of my friends within 2 months call me, hey, we were at the National in Iowa. Hey, we're at the National in Vegas. Hey, but we got pulled in the trailer by Shannon and John David and BA. They requested that I don't deal with you because you're crazy. You're losing your blah, blah, blah. So then I'm like, all right, I did a Facebook live for like 30 minutes. And I did this live thing and I pretty much aired it out there and I didn't say no names. And it got like, I never had anything get like this many views. It got like 15,000 views or whatever. And then now I'm getting phone calls and my friends are telling me, hey man, they called us now. And they're like, after hearing this, there's now new, they're making more threats and shit. So 2 days later, I did another live, and this time I named BA and John David and Shannon Gillette. I named all these guys, Chris Luna, whatever. And that got 20,000 views. And I didn't say anything that wasn't true. And
you just doubled down.
Yeah.
I just doubled down, and I'm crazy, and I don't know what I'm talking about, and I'm stupid. And Lake Paris just had 160-70 motos. And, in 2017, when I walked away, I was in Lemoore, California at a national that had 150 motos. And
man,
yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Well, I think, yeah, I mean, it sucks, man, that you had to deal with those things, and that
it's okay.
It is.
I'm not complaining about it. I'm fine with it. I don't mind dealing with it, but let's try to make something better.
I know you don't mind dealing with it, Greg. That's not my point. Hold on a second.
The wing showed up.
No, my dog's my kid's got to come grab my dog. He's gonna go take a whiz. No, my point was, I know you're pretty thick-skinned, and you're one of the thickest skinned guys I know that can deal with people. And like Mike said prior to you coming on, one of the things he likes about you is you have an opinion and you know how to articulate it and you know how to back it up. And so it's good. And so
I
you're the right
appreciate it.
person.
I'm not always right. I'm not always right.
Yeah.
I don't claim to be, but you know.
No. I'm not saying right or wrong, and I think you're the right person to have had to deal with that. But it really does stink that you hear about those. It sounds like the guy in Rad.
Yeah.
Shannon coming to your booth with the
Yeah.
rolled up.
I mean,
well,
right.
I guess you're not. He's
I
like
just-
the guy in
I
Rad.
would like my friends, you know me, okay? I wouldn't make something like this up. I'm not making this up, and I'm not trying to make it up to make him look bad right now. And I'm sure he's not going to like that I said it. He probably doesn't care, and that's fine.
Well, he
But
can defend
this
himself.
is not how you handle things.
Right.
It's more like,
you can.
hey, I see you signed with the NBL. You know, what would it take
Right.
for us to do something with you? You know,
That's
what
right.
could we do? Like, could you imagine, like, in another industry where the main the main sanction is like going up to say, I'm not anywhere in Jeremy McGrath's league, so don't take it this way, but walking up to him and saying shit like that, like,
Yeah.
could you imagine it? Like, that's so unprofessional. If I owned a business and one of my guys did something like that, I would fire them 2 seconds after I learned about it. They
Well,
would be done.
yeah, but I mean, it sounds like it's not just exclusive to him, right? Like from what you're explaining to me.
No,
and the
I've heard this same stuff. I've shared this with a few people that in the industry, and I hear the same stuff. And I even have people that tell me, listen, I don't disagree with anything you're saying. Unfortunately, I can't say anything because, and I'm like, I know why. I one of the last nationals we did, we were in New Mexico at the national that had the big massive roof over it.
Yeah.
And we were like 50 yards away from that roof. We were out in the rocks in the parking lot, and we're paying full page ads every month. And it's like, well, we didn't have enough room for you. You didn't get in touch with me. I didn't get in touch with you. We come to like all these races every year. We're going to be here. You don't provide an email in the beginning of the year that says, hey, fill this out. Let us know which races you're coming to. We know you're going to send your $1,500 on time every month for your full page ad that nobody reads. We know you're going to do that. But, they treat you like this. It's amazing.
I don't think you're the only one. I mean, I've heard similar stories, even recent, about, the sponsorships and stuff like that. And
right.
Getting kind of pushed around. I have a feeling that there's going to get to a point where they're going to get pushed back. Like,
I hope so.
Sponsors are going to push back.
Yeah, I don't know, JV.
You don't think so?
I don't. Well, here two things. One, I just want to say, I've never had a bad dealing with those guys. Like, I get along with all those guys, but I totally see what you're saying, Greg. So
yeah, that's cool.
Just because I get along with those guys doesn't mean that I can't respect what you're saying and
that's all
not
good.
agree that they handled things the right way. So, but JV, to answer your question, no, I don't think there's going to be pushback because there's no alternative.
Yeah, there's no other game in
No
town.
alternative. What's the other choice?
Not put your tent up.
Yeah, and you can't go across town to race the other sanction.
That's right.
Yeah.
And if I wasn't ever born and I would have never been in BMX, this shit would still be going on. It's not just that they're treating me like this. I know a lot of people who, as you say, have had to deal with this. I know Vince, James, as you said, you've talked to people, and it's it's sad because you could be in a private conversation with a buddy who is in the industry, and you guys could air some shit out, but it's kind of like venting, and then you go back and people don't say anything. But it's kind of like, until people just stop going, they won't change. And there's riders that were in our camp. I have 2 kids that were in our camp, DeBrule from Central California and Kitchen from Bakersfield, and they both got into mountain biking. And after a few events, they've been doing it for like 10 years now or more.
Yeah.
After a couple events, their dad and I would be talking. They're like, you wouldn't even believe this, man. We were at the track. We only had to deal with 3 hours of track time. We did more laps in 3 hours than we did in a whole weekend of BMX. We did barbecue. We had it was really awesome. We didn't have to, qualify at like 11 a.m. and race our main at 9 at night. And, it's just once you try mountain biking, you probably don't want to go back and do BMX again.
Hey,
as Eric Carter knows.
dude,
Exactly.
Right.
I mean, I will. Well, I mean, we touched on it briefly, Greg, when you were camping. I mean, for me, I was sponsored by Bicycle Center. BC Dave was always trying to get me to ride mountain bikes, and I thought they were the dumbest thing ever. I really did. I was like, you guys look stupid. Your kits are dumb. This is ridiculous. No way I'm doing that. And my ego was in the way of what was actually a really cool thing. They did look stupid, but anyways, it evolved. And when I finally got to my first race, and all those things that you were saying, like I believe is Devin DeBrule was on your team.
What's that? Yes. Yeah.
He's pretty fast kid.
He's a good dude.
Yeah. So they have he's describing exactly what my experience was. I got to my first race and it was like, dude, my practice was 8 to 10 and I qualified from 10 to 11.
That's awesome.
And then the next time I rode that bike was the next day.
Right.
And so we got to go back to the condo and have lunch and then go to the lake or do a sightseeing thing at whatever village we were in. And you got to do other things in the town and you got to have an experience, right? Or a barbecue or whatever. And so you weren't stuck there. Now, when you're at the Grands, you can leave because you have hours and hours in between your motos, but you're just sitting in that.
But it's, it's like
box.
When you're at the Grands and you're going in for practice and you get 3 laps because there's 292 people in your class, or maybe there's more but I guess all I'm saying is in order to change things, sometimes you got to burn the house down and rebuild it. Like if you don't have, mixed opens and, if you don't have 92 different classes at a national and let everybody who has a license race, then you'd have a true national with 170 motos. There'd be 8 guys on the gate at all of them. The race would be over early. And I'm sorry, little Johnny, but you know what? You're still intermediate, but keep on doing your thing at the local level. And once you turn expert, you can race nationals. You have to qualify to race nationals.
Well,
like, do we just load the truck up with our motocross bikes and roll out to A1 and just be, yo, dude, I'm going to race tonight? No, you're not. You didn't qualify.
Well, it kind of reminds me of something that, Greg, we were talking about my kid playing soccer and stuff like that. And one of the coaches said to me about our local rec soccer team, our local rec soccer league he said that all of the club teams have completely drained all the rec soccer teams.
Yeah.
Because all of these club scouts come and they literally go to the rec league and they're like, oh, your kid has potential. You should be on our team. It's a development thing. Right. And then they write this, oh, no way. Jimmy's got potential? Yeah. And I saw your daughter, Susie. She's ripping too. You should sign them both up. They're both on the club team. They're on the C team.
Right.
They're going to get to the B and A team. And it completely drained our rec league to where we hardly had enough teams.
Right.
That's the local national conundrum.
That's how it is. So when all of you guys, all you 3, when you think about when you first started, and honestly, the first year that you raced, did you give a shit about a sponsorship, man?
Dude, I didn't even know I didn't know that was a thing.
Did you want that special deal, or did you just want to be on your bicycle, just bombing down the track, man? Just like, it wasn't about status. It wasn't about sponsorship. It wasn't about all those things, man. The track could have been a pile of crap and it was fun as hell, man. We loved it.
I have to agree with you, Greg. When we all first started in the sport, we did it because we loved it. We had such a great time.
Right.
We just weren't involved in all the big end of things. And the thing we loved the most was we had friends.
Yeah.
We hung out with our friends. We went to the races. It didn't matter what team you were on. You hung, because most of us weren't. A lot of us. Greg, you were different. You were really good when you started. We weren't on teams. If we were some little bike shop team.
I was getting beat by a girl the first year that I raced, so I was just like any other kid, man. I just wanted to ride, but I didn't want to get beat by a girl. That sucks, but I just wanted to ride the bike.
But you know what? There was a couple of things about that too, man. One, when I first started, my first race, I raced in the BMX League.
Yeah.
So it was like La Mirada, Irvine, Santa Ana, Elks.
Yeah, Santa Ana, Elks Club or what?
Yeah, those, and they raced on Sunday.
Right.
That was it.
Yeah,
you raced
right.
on Sunday.
Yeah.
There was no midweek stuff. You just raced on Sunday. And
yeah,
those races were, for that time, and for being it was just a local, regional Southern California league. It wasn't even down in San Diego.
Right.
Those were pretty good size events, considering it was just a regional event. They ended up getting bought by ABA, and swallowed up, and being a part of it. But when we had our local racing was big, and it meant something,
right?
And it was special to win. If you won the CW Summer Series out at the Orange Y, if you won that series, that was cool. If you won the Powerlight 1000, that was a big race.
That was big time. Yeah.
Right.
I think one of the big differences too was back then it was all the families were having barbecues in the parking lot. It was it was a whole different scene. I agree with you, and I want to bring it back to this question. And I don't know how this works, but it's a question for you guys, but it's also a question for everyone listening. Like, is it this way because it's this way? Because it just is?
Hey, hold the gate, Mr. Starter. We're going to take a short break and play a few new commercials. We're also going to tell you that we're going to announce the dates to the Dirty Fest 3. Oh, that's going to come out August the 2nd, Friday night. We're going to drop the bomb, let you guys know when, where, all the details for Dirty Fest 3. Finally, hey, man, subscribe, like, do all that business. Helps us out. Yeah, buddy. Enjoy the rest of the show. Make sure you stick around for the outtakes at the very end. Tell him, JV.
This is Jay Oaks with BMX Breakthrough. Our mission is to grow the sport at the local level. We've reached out to TOs across the country to say, what is your need to better reach new riders, both young and old? And we've put a financial number to that to make it easier for sponsors and donors to jump in and say, I got this one. You can check out our website, bmxbreakthrough.com. Reach out to me directly, jay@bmxbreakthrough.com. We've got our social media at BMX Breakthrough. We've got the podcast as well. Thank you so much for your support, and let's get more kids and adults on bikes.
Guys, you're watching the Dirty Knob Podcast with Mike Miranda, Eric Carter, James Vicente. What the heck? Are you enjoying the show? Well, hey, take a minute. Stop. Pause. Go to your computer. TorqueRacing.com. You know what you want to do. TorqueRacing.com. Check it out. You're going to check out the new Pro X frames. You're going to check out the EK frames. You're going to check out the Barbarians. You're going to see the new Torquer shirts. You're going to see the pads. You're going to see all the new stuff. Go to TorqueRacing.com.
All right, Dirty Fest fans, get ready. September 27th through the 29th of this year, 2024, we'll be honoring Brian Blyther, Ron Wilkerson, and Dave Norrie at the Old School BMX Reunion at Woodward West, Tehachapi, California. That's my dog Coco barking in the back, and we got Harley over here also. But the Old School BMX Reunion is what, Brian?
It is the oldest running annual BMX event that is going on. It lasts longer than my marriage and most marriages out there.
That's right,
So,
14
long
years. 14 years. So anyways, Mike Miranda was kind enough to allow us to have some freestyle at the Dirty Fest number 2. This is going to be our 14th annual OSBMXR. We've honored people like Bob Harrow, Mike Buff, R.L. Osborne, oh, you name it. Mike Dominguez, Eddie Fiola. Now we're going to be honoring Brian Blyther. We're going to be giving away Oakley grips. Come on down. You got to come and see us. Go to our website at www.osbmxr.com and sign up now.
Woodward, lots of bowls, lots of ramps, lots of dirt jumps.
And just so you know,
fun stuff to do.
We're freestylers, not racers. So it's not going to be come in your cleanest, nicest bikes. We're going to be drinking some beers. Right, Brian?
Sure. Oh, yeah.
There we go. Woo! Woo! See you at the old school reunion.
Yes, we will.
Yo, we got Townsend in the house.
Here's the part I wanted to bring up. It was way more fun when we were all friends at the track racing when we were kids.
Except for this dude. This dude's crazy. He's
And I wanted to bring in one of our friends.
Oh my God, Chuck T. What's up?
What's up, Village?
How are you, man?
What's
Dude,
up, brother?
Charles, I don't know if you heard, we were talking about how fun it was to go to the track and hang out with our friends, and how it's
Maybe
what some of the things that are wrong with BMX now.
Yeah.
But really, how good it was when we used to go when we were kids.
Right.
Yeah, and I don't think it'll ever be like how it used to be. I mean, the sport's progressed, most definitely, but the camaraderie, and just the closeness of just your friends, I don't think it'll ever be like that again.
No, the closest is Frogtown and Dirty Fest right now.
Right.
But it might be if you could be 12 again and you're going to the track tomorrow to race, it would be like that. Like if we're older, right? But it's like that question I posed is it like this only for one reason, in my opinion? Yes, things are different and yes, things progress. But the point is, it's like you can take two different restaurants that are franchise restaurants, okay? And one of them is just amazingly awesome. And the other one is just kind of subpar. And that's because one is being managed incorrectly and one's being managed correctly. We have a sanction that doesn't put the energy and effort into making it better. It's just what it is. And they run nationals all the time, every weekend at this point in the year, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I have track operator friends I had over the years of teaching that said they've never been to my track. They've never come out and seen anything in 20 years. I've never seen them. So my point is, how does it change? If the people who are in control of it don't do anything to change it, how does it change? Like, we can't do nothing about it. Us five, what are we going to do about it?
I think we put Charles in charge.
Charles could be the president of USA BMX, man.
Chuck T can do it.
Hey,
Tell him, Chuck, tell him what you would do if you were the president of the USA
oh my
BMX.
goodness. Yeah, first it's
First, you'd give Ronnie his.
Hey, they're not going
I
to
give Ronnie back. I give Ronnie back all those points he didn't get, or and that skateboard that he was promised, and all that stuff. So.
With interest. Don't forget the interest.
Chuck, they're not going to give you lane 8 for the next 4 years, so you could say whatever you want, bro. Okay.
No, first of all,
I would move Frogtown closer to a city.
Oh my goodness.
And I would have a petting zoo at every race.
It's
my platform.
When there was two sanctions, the ABA and the NBL, they pretty much, they both kept each other honest, but now that there's only one sanction, they've got free reign to do kind of whatever they want. Right. That's the big problem. Competition breeds good. Greg, I think you've said this before. Competition's a good thing. And when you're the only game in town, you can dictate whatever you want to do. And it's just like, if you don't like it, then
you can do what you want. Like, what are they going to do? Go somewhere else?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So,
but here's the thing, guys. yes, that's not what we believe. It's not what we believe it could be, right? We feel like with maybe some changes that feed local racing, build from the grassroots, build from the ground up, that the sport could grow and they could be bigger. And as Greg, as you alluded to earlier, there could be more profits. But right now, they have to be profitable. They've been doing it this way for a long time. So I think the problem is maybe they're content, maybe they're happy with the profit, maybe they're happy, like the system's running, it's just running and it's almost on autopilot, right? They have the guys that go to the national, they run it, they take the money in, and it's like, you know what? This year we cleared $12 million.
That ain't happening. But I get your point.
I'm just throwing a number out.
I get it. Yeah.
Okay. And they're like, you know what? 12 million was exactly what we made last year and the year before and the year before. And that's great because we pay all our people. At the end of the year, everybody gets a cool Christmas party and a Christmas bonus. And we're stoked. And if we're going to change things and we're going to try to reinvent this model, there's risk.
Absolutely.
And so until somebody comes along and forces you to be a better racer, it forces you to be a better competitor, forces you to be a better organization. You don't have to be.
You don't have to.
You don't have to be anything more than you are. That when you look in the mirror, you go, "We did a good enough job."
But I mean, is it possible that I mean, with the amount of less racers year over year, is it possible that they could be making the same amount? It got to be down, right?
I mean, think they make most of their money on their nationals, and if you add it all up, because they don't have anybody to be beholden to other than themselves. In other words, everyone says, well, there needs to be another sanctioning body, and no, there doesn't. What there needs to be is shareholders that demand a return on investment, a normal business, like a big business.
Right.
When you have a big business, they have shareholders and they have expectations and they have to do that. And they got to do whatever they got to do to make that work. Well, these guys don't have that. They run their nationals and, the grands come and go and they turn around and do it again.
JV, I get your point. But if the entry fee at a national goes up,
they make up for the loss of the rider.
And if now you have to have more races to qualify, which that happened as well, that means your revenue goes up as well.
But how many races do they take for your NAG plate? It used to be 6. What is it now?
It's 8 now.
Okay, so they have 8 races. You take your best 8 races, and there's
I think it's 8.
85 nationals. I mean, what is there?
Again, I think it's 8.
I'm being honest. But there's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. How many nationals are there? At least 60.
Again, I have to say I think because I don't follow the nationals. It means nothing to me. All I care about is my little local track and my local kids. That's my whole priority. Well, if I keep those kids happy and the family's coming together and the family's riding, then I'm happy.
Amen.
Amen, Hollywood. If you count all the nationals that they have, the 2-day nationals and the 3-day nationals, you add them all up, you probably have at least 55, maybe 60 nationals. And you're going to go race, like if you're from California and you're going to get on the gate in Oklahoma and race some dude from Florida who you've never raced before. And then you're going to spend 4 days doing it and have hours upon hours between your motos. And then you're going to go out there and your whole year rides on, did you make the main? And, it's double points. And I got nothing bad about that. But let's go there and not have intermediates, novices, side hacks, bullshit, mixed opens, all this crap. You don't need to have that.
That's right. Leave the side hacks to Dirty Fest. And Frogtown. Leave the side hacks to Dirty.
Leave the side jacks to Dirty Fest.
And Chuck T and Mike, you should be racing side hacks, man.
We'll be the shot. We'll be the sideshow.
I think that'd be awesome.
I'm busy in the petting zoo. I can't be racing. I'm busy in the petting zoo.
You know what? And I don't know the answer to this, but you guys talking and me listening, and is there another sport that we can think of that has this many nationals per year?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't watch the Ocho, so I don't know.
I mean,
It would be on, if there is, it's on the Ocho. All kidding aside, it's going to be an odd sport, right? It's going to be a sport we don't. Maybe bowling. I don't know.
I mean, look, you got baseball, and they have what 160 games a year, but they're filling up the stands with 50,000 people at every game, and it's on TV every game. There's your money.
Yeah, but they don't have
Like,
they don't have 160 World Series.
No, they don't. But
Right.
you know, you have 300 BMX tracks, if that, and you have 50 or 60 nationals, and you have nag plates that, like, look, I know they mean a lot. I get it. I'm not taking nothing away from anybody that won one, but the way the system breaks down and the way it all is, it's not really like, I mean, come on, dude. If you would have won the California Cup or the Powerlight 1000, it probably meant more. It was probably a bigger deal, you know?
I hated nag plates, man.
Right. It's
I think with all the nationals and all that stuff and all the nag plates and this and that, it just dilutes everything.
right. Yeah.
That's why I
It's like
hated
you
them.
said, Greg, back in the day, you know, you'd go to an event and win a California Cup series or whatever. It meant something. But now, you know, there's nag this, nag that, all the nationals and stuff. Everything just gets diluted down, and it just gets watered out. And I think, Greg, this was when we were hanging out with Bill one year, you and I think Bill, we were just trying to figure out some numbers on what a national brought in.
Yeah.
Hey, for everybody, when he's talking about Bill, he's talking about Bill Nelson.
Wild
Who
Bill.
was the
Yeah, we were sitting around just trying to crunch numbers, and you know, first of all, we're BMXers that can barely count up to 8 because you know we got lane 8. But we were trying to figure out some numbers, and God, the numbers were just crazy. And I can't imagine what they are now, because now, like you said, Greg, you have all these nationals, these Gold Cups, these qualifying races and stuff. So it's just a money making machine, and you know, their thought process is why they probably feel why fix something if it's broken.
Right.
It's not. Maybe it isn't broken, like EC
Right,
said.
right.
Yeah,
right,
but
Their
exactly.
model,
Yeah.
it works.
EC,
but
don't
their
talk with food in your
model-
mouth. I don't want to get more messages from your mom, man.
Come on, bro.
Yeah.
But
Showed up,
listen,
Village.
whoa, dude, look at you.
What do you got there? Cracker Barrel or
Dude, you
what?
pounded that.
I got
You've been
Wingstop,
shoveling
bro.
it, bro. I've been watching you. It's good.
Did you hear that? He said, he goes, I go, Wingstop.
But do you think that all of these nationals and everything that's been added to our point before, what we were talking about, all needed to happen to increase to make up for lost revenue? You know what I mean?
Because
To keep
they're
it
not-
flat.
They're not getting so, and I still think that people don't even look at this when they think about money and what their revenue is. They're not getting as many sanction fees. They're not getting as many membership fees because there's not that many tracks. So what they do is they lean against, or they lean into what they know how to do. Now, if you want to talk about who runs a great event, USA BMX runs a kick-ass event. They can run, man, they can get the job done, dropping that gate, running motos and doing their thing. They do a good job of it, but
Yep.
they can't and don't want to figure out how to make the other side of the coin work. And so for me, now you have to sit there and you have to think to yourself, okay, these people are clearly showing their end user, their customer, that they don't really care. And why would they care? Why don't they run the Olympic 3 moto system? If I paid 50, 80 bucks for my kid to race, I want that dude. And if he doesn't make it out of his motos, then that's okay. But let him race 3 motos, man.
I agree.
Not this damn transfer system. It's
I
stupid.
agree.
We run total points at our little track for that reason. We
Yeah,
want you
they
to
want
get
money.
everything you can out of it.
Yeah, why
You
not?
have the choice, right, Mike? As a
As a track operator, you have the choice. But
Right.
I haven't been, let me think about this. I can't remember going to any other track that runs total points.
Yeah.
Because now with total points, you need a couple extra scores, and you got to put a little more effort out. But and you know, total points isn't the greatest thing when there's only 12 motos. But you know what? You at a local track, you could always, especially you, Mike, on the mic, you can make it fun and let some kids have some free riding between motos, and they want to be on the freaking track.
Right.
Charles and I can take the side hack around.
Take the side hack out, dress up like a bunny or whatever.
Yeah. Or you know what? I could just in between rounds, I could just read a chapter out of my Greg Hill's BMX skills book.
Come on, dude.
And I could just entertain the kids that way.
Unbelievable, dude.
Holding on to this thing. Wow.
Wow. Hey, I got a bone to pick with Chuck T.
What's that, brother?
I got a bone to pick with you.
Here we go.
A while back, I was asked, hey, how'd you get into teaching? Like, I don't like talking in front of people. I would ditch class. If I had to go up and make a presentation, he already knows what I'm going to say. We're on the 8 days of Radness tour. And,
Did we nickname it 8 Days of Hellness or something like that?
We had like 105 kids or some crap on like a Wednesday night. And we had to do clinics to help pay for the tour. And so Charles, Ellis, TC, myself, we stand out there. Root Girl, our Corey Metzger was our team manager. Hey guys, we're going to do a clinic tonight. We're here to have a good time. Introduce all these guys, and they're going to teach you. I'm going to give it over to these guys. And then this dude, Chuck T and Gary Ellis and Todd Corbett take 3 steps backward and leave me standing there like a total jackass. And you guys don't talk. And I know that was planned.
Well, all you had to do was turn to page 8, becoming a winner.
Greg, it was all in love, brother. It was all in love.
God. It was good times. We had a lot of fun, but yeah, it was. I mean, wow. Yeah. That was a good time.
Hey, Greg, do you remember the one time we were on tour in Florida? I don't know. It was a standard weekend where the first weekend was Sarasota and the next weekend was Orlando. Then during the week, we decided that we were going to go to the beach, and you decided you would.
Dude, please. This shit hurts thinking about it, bro. Come on.
So Greg decides that he wants to do his Michael Phelps impression.
Listen,
so we're out at the beach and he dives in, right? And all of a sudden we hear this, and he gets up out of the water and he separated his shoulder.
Oh man.
Yeah. Dude, I had the dislocated shoulder from the last Grands. So now I'm out 4 months later trying to earn my cheese. And we're in the ocean and there's massive people and we're 30 yards out and everybody's diving in, no problem. And I dive in and hit a freaking sandbar, dude. Sand in the mouth, shoulders popped out.
He came up with the limp shoulder and sand in his mouth.
Yeah, that was really awesome.
I can see you out there just screaming in agony and people looking at you in your Speedos going, what's wrong with that guy over there?
Well, if any one of you guys, I hope you never have experienced it, but if you've ever had a dislocated shoulder, it's the worst thing, man. It sucks. And TC's standing behind me going, all right, we're going to head to the hospital. I'm like, no, we're not, dude. We're not going to the hospital. I'm not going to waste 5 more hours. Dude, we're going to do this right here, man. It was, yeah. But yeah, I remember that 8 days of Radness, dude.
Yeah.
Just good shit.
Yeah, good times.
Yeah, that Florida swing was always fun.
It was fun.
And the fun was I always enjoyed the week in between, man.
Yeah. I think the week in between was the best, and then the following weekend was always like a blowout, like you feel like shit, you're tired, you're burned out, but you got to race. It's like, dude, it was crazy.
Yeah. Those were good weeks, man.
Anyway, well,
hold on.
What are you doing now, man?
Chuck,
he's on the clip. Chuck, what are you doing these days, man?
So, gosh, for the last couple of years, I'm a finance manager at a GMC store.
Nice.
So selling cars. Yeah.
Awesome.
Trying to stay low key. Just, my kids are older now, off to college.
Wow, dude.
My son was in Japan for 4 years teaching English at an elementary school.
That's great, man.
Yeah. So he speaks Japanese fluently. Matter of fact, my daughter, he came home about 2 weeks ago. My daughter and I flew over there, spent the week there. Everything that they say, if you guys haven't ever been, everything they say about Japan is spot on. It's clean, friendly. The people are cool, great food. And I just had a blast. So, but just working, doing the adult thing. But my hat's off to you, Greg, because I keep track of you on Facebook. I couldn't be doing the job that you're doing, brother. I mean, that's some real work.
Hey man, it's not as hard when you're doing the walk behind grinder. It's kind of like a breeze in the park. But when you got the 7-inch and you're on the floor, it's not the greatest. But you know what it is. I'd rather do that than who knows.
The floors look
You'd
great.
rather
They
do
look
that.
great,
Yeah, you'd rather do that than try to make money selling BMX frames at a discount.
Yeah, then
to your
then
bro
giving away
deals.
a bunch of frames every week, like, can you hook us up? No problem.
And then they have to argue with Shannon about your tent space.
Hey Shannon, how come I'm 200 yards out away from the rest of the guys?
Hey, yeah, I heard hey, Greg, I heard that they would charge you prime real estate prices for tent space at the Grands.
Well, they would charge like, dude. So one year at the Grands, my buddy Tony Clementson, used to have this thing called I Am BMX. He's from Iowa, and he was like, if you were in the parking lot and you walked in the back door and you see the first tents, and then you have like a half a mile up to where all the other shit is.
Right.
He was $800 for a 10 by 10 in that spot.
God, that's more expensive than the real estate down in Los Angeles in your area, bro.
It's unbelievable. But when you're paying the $800 and you're in the back row and Joe Blow is like 200 yards up in front of you and he's paying $800 because he's getting along with Shannon really good. And that's where the discrepancy comes from. Just be consistent, you know?
Yeah.
But, whatever.
Well, we're consistent at Dirty Fest.
That's right.
Hey,
You want a tent? It's what do you got? What do you got in your pocket? Huh?
just set it up.
Yeah, hey,
Taquitos
set it
and
up. Yeah,
taquitos.
we'll,
You know what?
hey, your mom makes good sandwiches. We'll do a trade out.
A lot of dudes chime on to Facebook and they're like, hey man, if you want to, if you're just tired of USA BMX, just go race Dirty Fest in Frogtown. Like, I get it. Dirty Fest in Frogtown and Texas BMX Days and all these things are fun. They're cool. They're not trying to fix the sport.
No, we're not.
It's a specific event to have fun.
Yeah, exactly right.
Bench race with your buddies and do some laps and be like, wow, I can't believe. I mean, how many people get to go and be in the same moto with both their sons, right? Like, that's pretty damn cool.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It's really cool, dude.
Yeah.
That's like, you guys aren't trying to fix the sport. You're just trying to do your own gig and have a fun event. That's cool.
That's all we're trying. We're just trying to create an experience for people to come
Yeah.
and have a good time.
We're
Charles, we want you to come down, man. Come down.
Yeah, it's funny is I've got a friend, a guy that I work with. We become really good friends, but he's got a buddy that's into the BMX thing. And last year he goes, hey, my buddy so-and-so is going up to that Frogtown thing. Are you going? I'm like, nah, I got to work. But what's cool about it is here in Northern California, it's starting to spread, and people that know people that are asking, hey, are you going? So it's a cool, I'm not going to miss it.
Dude, seeing you at Frogtown was definitely a highlight for us, man. We love seeing
fun.
you.
Yeah. It's
That's
good
cool.
fun. Good
No,
fun.
And Greg, I got to tell you, I know that you were there last year. I didn't even see you.
I didn't go to Frogtown, but
I mean Dirty Fest.
I went to Dirty Fest this year, but it was like,
I didn't see you.
I seen you like 7 times, but you're wearing like 9 hats. You're doing so much.
I don't remember seeing you.
I seen
And don't
EC
forget the
going
Evil
by on the
Knievel suit.
tractor. I seen James doing paperwork in his hand, walking. It's like, you guys are busy, man. You're all making it happen.
Yeah, we're the BA and Shannon of Dirty Fest over here.
That's right.
Except you're nice,
Oh, we're having a great. Hey, dude, it is a business. Believe me, it is a business. But our priority is 100% to make sure everybody has a good time.
And you guys do that. Everyone has a good time.
We position it as it's our BMX family reunion is what it is.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yep.
And
That's what it feels like. When
Yeah.
we're camping and, I get a text from Ellis and he's at the track and I'm like, yo, I'm in camping spot, blah, blah, blah. And then 20 minutes later, he rolls down and it's like, man, some of these dudes you haven't seen for years and years.
Yeah.
And you can't. I have like 2 friends from high school. I never went to a high school reunion. I don't even know what, probably none of you guys. I don't know. How do you have friends at high school when you're missing every Friday and Monday? You know? So
we got this crew here that we're all looking at.
We might have to have
I had that conversation with my youngest son. He'll be a senior next year. And we were talking about that. And he was talking about how he's not gonna see. He's like, man, I'm probably never gonna see this guy again. It's a guy that raced anyways, and I was like, dude, you have no idea. Like, there's 800 people that you go to school with that this time next year is going to be the last time you see them in your life.
Right.
Yeah.
And some of them, it's okay.
And he said that. He goes, I'm all right with that, Dad. I'm
Yeah.
okay with that. So it's but yeah, I mean, I've never been to any of my high school reunion, and I was explaining to him, I said, there's 2 guys that I'm friends with on Facebook that I went to school with. Very, very rarely do I even send them a message, you know, like each other's post or something like that. Every once in a while. It just, that wasn't our people, dude. We weren't involved in high school stuff.
Right.
Because we were involved with our BMX families. And so that's why I think these Frogtown, Texas Dirty Fest events.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, because that is the gathering. That is the family reunion, right? And but it's even better, right? Because when you go to your high school reunion, you don't get to bring your parents.
No.
Right? But when you go to these like Dirty Fest, my mom goes to Dirty Fest.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dude, it's like
your mom's gonna be watching this podcast like 5 times, man.
Oh, I know. She's the first one to
the first as an example, like the cool part about BMX is when I look at the screen and I see you 4, you guys were all riding CWs, weren't you?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And you guys live for the most part all in different areas.
That's
yeah.
Right.
So you have lifelong friendships through the bike, you know, and that's really the best part about BMX.
But
Amen.
You know what's funny, Greg, is the other day, and I'm sure you can relate to this. I mean, we all get along with Gary and Super Guy and all that stuff, but like him, yourself, TC, Miranda, you know, months can go by.
Right.
We can pick up the phone like it was yesterday. Like the other day, I sent Ellis a text of the middle finger, and that's all I had to do, you know, and he gets it, you know.
Hey, that's how every conversation that I have with Gary, it could be every 6 months or a year, I send him 3 middle finger emojis. That's excellent.
Yeah, and then you know, that brings us back to a flashback of somebody getting dragged down the hall naked.
Yeah, because some jackass was supposed to take care of my shit. When I got Montezuma's Revenge an hour after the main, man, that is not cool. All I did was eat the ice cubes in my little glass of Coke, and the next 24 hours was unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Oh, good stuff.
And thanks for locking me out of my room. I appreciate that. Buck naked. I came and was banging on your door. Like, yo, Chuck, let me in. And you're like, what the shit? You're naked. I'm like, dude, I got something. Mike King says, listen, as I'm hugging the toilet, if you just run around this little, so it was only like a 5-second run, just buck naked, I'll pack your bike for you. Like, what a dumbass. I got 1 step out. Boom, the door slams. I'm like, you're kidding me. Right over to Chuck's room. Boom, 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 as I'm probably shitting myself in the hallway. Unbelievable. But that's the friends that you make in BMX, you know?
That's right.
Awesome.
Well, BMX is a great sport. That's what it says on page 91 right here. This is a great sport. I just want to say that.
What did you stop?
It can be very rewarding at any level of competition.
You stopped by like a thrifty 99-cent dollar store and got that?
This thing came from Hacks Cycle, and it was $11.
Wow, $11.
I have no idea. Oh, no, I got this on eBay.
Oh my God, bro!
I had to have it. I'm waiting. If I have 20 seconds of spare time at Dirty
BMX,
Fest, I'm going to have you sign it.
That's
BMX
right.
has always been an awesome business opportunity. When we made those, you had to minimum order 10,000 of them. I'm like, we're never going to sell 10,000 of them. So we got 10,000 of them. We sold like 1,500 of them. And the rest of them, I put in the back of a truck and drove them to GT, and they put them in all the orders that they were shipping out till they were gone. But
well, I'm super proud to own one. I am
That's
super
right.
proud to own one.
that's great.
I just got to get it signed by
Hey,
Charles.
with the way some of the vintage BMX stuff is going these days, that thing might be worth some money there.
I don't know.
Dude.
I don't know. Somebody somebody brought a pair of ODI. Dude, somebody brought a pair of these ODI grips that come in a package with my signature on it. And they're like, yo, I bought these for blah, blah, blah. Well, I'm like, listen, about 6 months after I was dating my wife, we were just out shopping. We went to this Pick and Save, and they have a square little thing in the center. Everything's like 99 cents. And there was no, those were 49 cents. It was a 5-pack of mushroom grips, my name on it, and they were 49 cents. And she picked them up and she looked at me and she goes, wow, you know, you really made it big when your shit's 49 cents at Pick and Save. You know? It's just the way it is, man.
Hey, I was when we moved here to Arizona, I got a box. It was at the very top inside the rafters, and I didn't know what it was. It was heavy. And I got it down and I had to open it up, and the tape was all yellow, had no idea. Opened it up, 20 pair of Mike Miranda ODI grips.
Awesome.
Wow.
Been sealed in that box. Yeah, been sealed in that box the whole time. I'm down to 17 pair.
That thing.
I gave 3 pair away already. What's that?
I said that box has been moved a number of times. You've moved
Yeah.
a lot.
Right on. That's cool.
It's only taking you this time to open up that box.
Yeah, imagine.
Yeah.
Imagine.
If somebody would have wrote taco sauce on the side of it, I'd open that box up.
But you only opened that box because it was like the mystery box. You probably didn't know what was in there.
It was heavy. I was like, what the hell is in this thing?
That's
who knows?
Yep.
That is amazing. That's
So
really cool.
I'll send you guys. I'll say, Greg's going to send you all a book, and I'm going to send you a pair of grips.
Seriously.
And Charles is going to send you a Yukon.
Yukon.
A GMC Yukon.
Hey, do you have on your financing? Do you have the BMX hookup going on? Do we get like
The hookup?
Hey, I can
Look
always
at, listen to Greg, the first guy that wants to get a hookup now.
hey, I can always hook you up with pricing, but when them things start at $95,000,
Chuck, I got an idea, dude. Why don't you call BA at USA BMX? Hook him up on a deal to get Ronnie a Trans Am, bro.
Crazy Ronnie? He could drive. He could ride on in, dude. You could hook him up with his Trans Am, bro.
See,
we could make it right.
We're solving world problems here today.
Right today, man. Right now.
crazy Ronnie.
Absolutely.
Dude, he's your neighbor.
Hey.
It's all NorCal, bro.
Hey.
You guys are hella close.
Hella close. Hey. Yeah.
There's a small
NorCal
number
tumbleweeds
of regular people that come out of NorCal.
What's that, Greg?
There's a small number of regular folks that come out of NorCal. You're one of them.
Thank you, man.
But you got some of them dudes have their own language, their own lingo, their own everything.
Chuck, do you speak NorCal?
What did you refer to that as? NorCal tumbleweeds?
Chuck's in one of those families where he understands what's being said, but he doesn't speak it.
Right, there you go. It's that BMX Ebonics thing, you know?
Exactly.
Hey, and if you don't know, just post a picture of your bicycle.
Yeah. And it's called Bonics.
Awesome.
Oh, good.
Yeah, you don't need. That's all you have to do is post a picture of your bicycle right in the middle of somebody else's paragraph.
That's it.
I told you what I was doing. I told you too, Holly, what I was doing. I took a bunch of random pictures. I took a picture of like cassette tapes and a flashlight and a tape measure. And every time T was posting his bike, just randomly, I would just post another random picture right underneath it.
That's so good, man. That's awesome. That's so good.
Oh, he's the best, dude.
Hey, Charles, when you come down for Dirty Fest, do you mind swinging by and picking up T and just, carpool? It'd be a fantastic 5-hour drive for you.
Yeah,
bring him down.
Right on that. Yeah.
I think Crazy JJ's, a couple blocks away. And
I'm sorry. Did you just say you were flying down, Chuck?
Yeah.
He's definitely gonna fly down now.
If I drove down with those guys, I wouldn't even slow down to let them out.
Oh my goodness.
We got to get those guys to come. You know what? Ronnie
came.
Ronnie comes. He's great.
I'm telling you, Ronnie, T, Crazy JJ, Thomas Ingram. If you can find Kevin McNeil, that would be awesome. But dude, you could put it together.
Hey, you know what? Having you two together is the beginning of the firm reunion.
Hey,
the firm.
Yeah, the firm, the G and GT. I wore this for you, Greg, by the way.
Go. Look at that.
And GT is planning at Dirty Fest next year. GT is planning on having a big reunion.
Oh, that's
Hey, Greg, how many times did you ride for GT?
Hey, I reached out to Todd Huffman and asked him, "Hey, did you negotiate Greg's contract?" And he goes, "No."
No.
He goes, "I never had anything to do with Greg's contract. That was always between him and Richard."
The only guy I ever spoke to was Richard Long, and that was the best, man.
How did you not make a comeback for Auburn too? You would have just ran the whole gamut.
Well, it just when your shoulder, when you have a mouthful of sand and your shit's popped out, and you're getting like hardly anything to go to races. Hey, we'll give you $2,000 if you win. It's like, dude, I can't wipe my ass. I'm not going to win shit. But you know, it's like, come on. I don't know, but Richard Long was the man. That's all I'm saying. He was, if that guy said that he was going to do something, you could bet your whole life on it. He always did it, you know?
It would be very interesting to see where USA BMX and BMX would be if Richard had stayed alive right now.
Yeah.
I think
how about this one? It'd be very interesting to see where BMX would be today if Richard didn't get involved in BMX.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't mean any disrespect to Gary Turner. He's great, man. Okay. But we wouldn't know him and you wouldn't have that shirt on if it wasn't for Richard Long. Richard Long made it happen, you know?
Yeah, no doubt.
You know, like there's a lot of people that can make cool products, but there's a few dynamic people that could really do that magic to make a company work.
They were a good team.
They were a great team. So,
They were a great team.
pretty cool.
Yeah, man.
Well, I'll see you guys under the tent at Dirty Fest under the
Hey, Mike, when are the dates for Dirty Fest?
Hey, I bet you'd like me to tell you right now on the air, wouldn't you?
Yep.
Not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen. It's
We're gonna announce it shortly. We have the
Soon.
dates. We have the dates, but we have a few things we have to do on the for the infrastructure part of it before we can announce it publicly.
Should have
What's
one
that?
Dirty Fest a month, dude. One a month, and offer like, you know, just maybe 2 a month.
Dude, you know how many people have said to us, "You guys need to start a sanctioning body."
Oh,
Like,
God.
dude,
You know what we're
out of
gonna
your
do,
mind?
Greg, we're gonna have three Dirty Fest per weekend. So there's gonna be one on Friday, one on Saturday, one on Sunday.
And then we're gonna give out saber stamps.
Yeah,
Exactly. We're having
I
3.
like it.
That's the change this year. We're gonna have 3 of them.
I tell you what, it's
Grayson's-
gonna have to make a lot of money to pay for my divorce, JV's divorce, your divorce. Yeah, it's gonna.
Yeah.
Because if you got 2 kids that are racing and you got to pay 3 national fees a weekend, oh my God.
And you have to go to 8 Dirty Fests a year to qualify for the.
Right.
It's all good, dude. Just don't make your house payment, your mortgage, just put that off and just go to another race, you know?
No, I got to save my money to buy my Trans Am.
Oh my God.
That's okay. Chuck's gonna hook you up, dude. Chuck's got you covered, bro.
You can finance it, bro.
Yep. Just
My
finance
bro
it.
deal, my backdoor bro deal.
20 years financing at 15%.
Yep.
That's what I was gonna say.
That works.
You're gonna have a
Sign us up.
9-year payment plan, dude.
Yeah,
You set up.
That
but I get a
turbo
20% off my jersey.
That's good. It's good shit.
Oh, good stuff.
Well, hey,
can-
listen,
yeah.
hey, you know what? In talking to Debbie Calso, our CW teammate, Debbie Calso, you told the story about how, you know, there were times that, you know, her family, the lights would get cut off. And you know, they were late on bills, but they kept going racing. Their mom and dad, who were also track operators, their main thing was getting to the BMX races.
Dude, and Digger was a points chaser.
Yeah. And so was
Yeah.
Debbie. And Debbie was, you know, national champion. So
Yeah, I think Digger was a 20,000 point club jacket getter. That's worth.
crazy.
I mean, that's worth having your lights cut off for.
So I got a question for you. So with that said, with lights being turned off and missing bills to get your kids to the races, our parents or Debbie's parents would have done that. But would you go to that extreme for your kids today? No.
I don't think it teaches them the right lesson.
Well, yeah, that's one point for sure. For me, Chuck, I had this conversation a couple of times with Richie Anderson about my kids and racing and stuff. And, you know, Danica, his daughter, is extremely fast, has won a ton of races and stuff. And Richie was always like, dude, you got to get your kids. Why aren't you going to more now? Because we never, the only national we ever went to with them was, did we go to Bakersfield too? But I know we did one at Paris, but I think that was like a state race. I think we went to Bakersfield maybe. We didn't go do that. Our goal with BMX was never, I didn't want my kids to try to chase being a professional BMX racer. Because I felt like talking with you about it earlier tonight, Greg, it was I felt it's like a spider web, right? Because it really isn't.
Yeah, right.
There's not a real future to it, right? Like a long-term future to it.
No,
and
it's not.
So but I did want my kids, I felt that they would be racing or riding mountain bikes. And I thought that they would gravitate more towards that once they went to those type of mountain bike races. I wanted them to develop the skill set that BMX affords you, right? There is no better place to develop, I think, for a number of things. Like Sean Palmer can attribute a lot of his skills in border cross and skier cross and the things he did. He grew up racing BMX, right? Like it teaches you how to be a really good racer and how to really get the most out of every little pebble on the course if you're a good racer, and how to carry speed, all kinds of different strategies. It carries over. And so our goal with BMX was to have a good time, learn some skills on the bikes that could later transfer over into mountain bikes. But our local scene stunk, and my kids kind of got tired. It didn't stink. It just wasn't what we grew up with. So my kids finally got tired of it. My oldest son, Ethan, was like, Dad, this sucks. Like I'm racing, I think he was, yeah, he was like 14 or 15. He was racing like a 9 or a 10-year-old. And then he was racing Randy Lawrence, who's my age. Like that was his moto.
Yeah.
He was an intermediate, and he was racing 9 to 55 intermediate.
And I think part of that
points race. There's 3 guys.
Motos.
Right. And I think
so he just didn't want to do it anymore.
And I think a part of that is we were lucky enough to be in the era of BMX where we had sponsorships and we got expenses paid and all that stuff. And back in our era, the top 15 pros were making okay money, Right. I mean, but now I don't see that. And I didn't have my kids get involved, my son get involved in it, because the sport of BMX was great to us, but I knew that there was no future for him in it. So I kind of steered him clear of it because I knew that there wasn't, again, I don't want to be bashing the sport that I love, but I knew that there wasn't really a future in it. I pushed them more towards my kids towards the educational side. You got to go to school, get your education, and my kids would come back and say to me, well, Dad, you did okay. And I said, yeah, but for me, it was like trying to put a square in a round hole. And for my kids, I wanted, to get that education. But I think that's part of the reason why maybe I really didn't push my kids towards BMX, because I didn't see it having anything like it was for us.
It was a different time, right? It was a different time. That was like the growth. Yeah. The growth that the sport was experiencing, and the, like Greg, you had mentioned it when you were saying that, like the pie is so split, and that like all these, where's the money coming from there? It wasn't like that before. So there was more sales, less companies. We could make money. Companies could afford to sponsor whole teams that paid for our travel the whole year. It was just a different time. So I feel bad for the kids now, but the reality is they don't know any different. This is right now it's their experience. This is what their BMX experience is and is going to be. I hope that they can look back on it like we are with fond memories, and not like we sound like a bunch of bitter old guys up here bashing the sport, because we felt we had it so good.
Right.
And we can see how good it can be, and we feel like maybe it's not as good as it can be.
Man, I heard this story one time. I don't know how true it is or not, but I think Brian had told me, Patterson, he said Ronnie would call the house Watch the lights. Wait, 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 wait. Just hang up.
No way.
That sounds like what he would do.
I love
He would do that today.
You
He'd probably call him BA's house right now saying,
Where's my points?
where's my transient? Push, pull, click, click, Doheny,
Right.
Jack.
Ronnie's calling GMC in San Jose tomorrow.
Yeah,
morning.
we're gonna give him your number, Charles.
That's great.
Oh, good times, man. Good times.
Well, I don't know if we have an episode here, but it sure was fun talking to you.
Yeah, it was good talking to you guys.
No,
Thank
dude,
you,
that
man.
was
No, we got
Yeah,
that.
a lot of
we
fun. A lot of fun.
definitely got a good episode here. Well,
Right,
I think that this is a if you look at it, this episode will have two parts. It'll be the fun and games about and it really relates to both. We
Yeah.
love the sport,
Yes.
or as in page 91 says, BMX is a great sport,
Yes.
Thanks.
but there are issues with it. And Greg points them out. And
Yes.
why? Because we love this sport and we hate to see
Right.
it getting run through the shit the way it is right now.
Right.
And the second part is that BMX is a great sport, and we have a family amongst us here, the five of us. We
Right.
have this family bond because of the sport.
Absolutely, for sure.
And
Yeah,
we
and,
also-
and if
Yeah.
we don't talk to each other for 6 months or a year, it doesn't matter. The next time we do, or even the middle finger emojis, that's all it is,
Oh,
and that's
good.
all you need,
That's
brother.
it.
I know you love me, and I know you love you. It's the same. It doesn't matter what emoji you sent.
Hey, do you think there was as much turnover? Like, do you think right now? Do you think when we raced, there was as much turnover as there is now within the sport? Do you
What
think
do you mean?
kids
What do you mean by
Like-
turnover?
quit,
Yeah.
start, quit, start, quit, start, quit, start, quit?
What do you mean
Right.
start, quit, start, quit?
With
Riders.
racers?
Racers.
For sure, there's not as many because the pie is so much smaller.
I feel like
There's less.
I feel like riders.
uh,
I feel like when we raced, I feel like riders stayed
Stayed
in it
around longer. Yeah, raced longer. Yeah.
Well, you'd have to look at it as a percentage of how many people actually raced,
Right.
right? Because you can't.
Mm.
It's not apples and apples because there're just not that many racers anymore.
And they're not even
Because-
getting into it now. So
The
the
reason I
turnover
say-
is more like, hey, before there was turnover because there was a lot more people. It's all like totally beautiful when you're winning intermediate by 30 bike lengths, and then you get into the expert class and you get motoed and you're 5 bike lengths behind the last place guy. And then a lot of kids drop off. Nowadays, could you just get your kid to the track? Like
Well-
if I wanted to take my grandson to the track, because my youngest is 27, so I had to take my grandson to the track. Oh, there's no track around. I'd have to
Right.
drive 2 hours in traffic each way to get to a track.
Where's the closest track to you right now, Greg?
It's probably
Bellflower.
Bellflower, and
Oh.
without if at 3 in the morning I can get there in 45 minutes,
Yeah.
but not at 5 at night. There's no way, man.
You know, look at it this way too. Now you're encouraged. You know, like you said, it's getting people to nationals. That's what the sanctioning body's trying to do.
Right.
So we laugh about how there's 3 and 4 or 5 riders in a moto. That's it for a national.
Yeah.
And the reason is because they want more people to qualify out of the moto. So
right.
if there's 4, if you put 5 people in the gate and they take 2 in the first moto, 2 in the second moto, that means only one person doesn't qualify.
Right.
In a sense, it's giving everyone a chance for the participation trophy. Where in our day, it was 8 people in the gate, and you could get fourth, and you
Didn't
didn't
make
make it.
No.
Right.
Dude, I hated those 8-man quarters taken 3. Dude,
That's
then-
what
and then
it
because
was.
The worst
8-man
part
quarters
about
taken 3. Ooh,
Yeah, the worst part about it is that if you don't make it and you get 4th, and then you go and watch your main, and there's 6 or 7 people in the main, you have 2 open or 1 open gate.
Right. Where in our day, you raced and you got motoed and you went home.
Right.
And you cried, and your dad would beat you, and then you would, and your mom,
Yeah, but
your
you
mom
also
and dad would
without
fight.
anything to eat.
Yeah, and you got home and the electricity wasn't on because
so some things haven't changed.
yeah.
No.
And what I'm saying is that there was disappointment, heartache, and hurt, but you learned from that you have to get better. You have to get better if you want to make it.
So
Yeah.
then
But you
you
could-
gotta ask the next question that is after your question, Eric, and that is, well, would the sport be bigger if there was more tracks? And if you showed up and you could race a local and there was 25, 30 motos instead of 7 or 8? What's
Yes.
going to make the sport bigger? Having more nationals or having more local tracks?
It's for sure. It's really simple, right? If you feed the roots of a plant, it grows, right? But if I put water on the outside on the leaves on my tree,
Done. Yeah.
and no water gets in the roots, it's not going to grow.
Yeah.
And so that's why I asked the turnover thing, because it's like the people come in and they go really fast. I noticed it at my local track.
Yeah.
Like it's probably been 2 or 3 years since we raced BMX, but a year and a half, 2 years after we left, we went back to hang out and see Redbone, and we would just go pop in for the night and just check people out. Dude, it was crazy how many people that were new, but also how many people that were gone that we didn't know.
Absolutely.
But it still seemed like there was the same 9 motos.
It's the same system. It's the same
But it's
system.
just like 9 motos of new people. And it's like they do it for a year or two, and then they're like, well, dude, we're on to the next thing.
Yeah, my perspective is different because my track is a new track.
Yeah.
So I am getting all these first-time racers. All of our racers are starting off, and we haven't lost a lot of people because we just haven't been doing it long enough.
Right.
Ask me next year. And
yeah, but also, I mean, how much is there to do in your area in Prescott? Is it like we're in the suburbs basically, right? So there's a bazillion things to do. So I haven't been to Prescott. I don't know how it is, but I imagine it's probably a pretty cool thing for the kids. The BMX.
Yeah, there's not a lot of other things to do. I mean,
right.
We are the home of the oldest rodeo in the world. So if you're if you do that, if you're into ag like that, then there's that.
So if you're familiar with the facility, when you go there for the other things, the ag and the rodeo, you see the BMX track.
Well, our track. The track is located directly behind, right next to a facility that has hockey, basketball, boxing. A dance studio. It's a lot of youth. So. Yeah. But even still, after a year now, people still are just finding us out for the first time. And it's like you said earlier, it's word of mouth. People just keep, finding out about it.
Yeah.
Just wait till they find out that it's $600 for entry fees for a weekend at a national.
And again, you're right, Greg. When they find out it's $600 to race a weekend, I hope they go, well, that's not what we want to do. We just want to come out and have fun with our family.
That's right.
Just race locals. Just come out and have fun.
Yeah,
right.
And you know what? And to EC's, I wanted to point out to EC in his getting 3rd or 4th in the semi and not making it to the main. My very first trophy is a 4th place, 4th place in the semi consolation trophy.
That's cool.
Oh,
what year is
boy,
that?
have I got a helmet.
1978, and I've been racing, dude. I raced for over a year before I got a trophy.
That's cool.
Is that the one that you had to ride home from because your dad left?
Oh, I wasn't this good yet. Yeah, you know what? I wasn't good. And I realized I shouldn't go to nationals. I suck.
Mijo, you're no good.
Mijo, you are no good.
So I think EC's right where you have to water the roots for everything else, because I think and I think part of this is maybe the parents also. I mean, I live right down the street from the Roseville track, and they get a pretty good turnout. But I'll go and check it out on a Friday night or something, and there's a ton of kids practicing, but they won't stay to race.
Yeah.
Right. I think a lot of these parents have aspirations for their kids to go to nationals, and now it's an Olympic sport, so they have all these big aspirations for their kids, which is fine. But I think they got to remember that you got to get your butt kicked on the local level first before you can go to the nationals. And it's a whole it's a whole progression. We all did that because back in our day, a Saturday morning race, 80 motos, and there was all kinds of talent. So I think I think the sport needs to get back to that local. And with that, maybe take away some of all of the nag plates and stuff, because it just gets so watered down.
Yeah, but
you've got 60-year-old men racing for nag plates, you know? I mean,
I get the idea of the sprinkling and I think if I heard you right, Greg, the growing, you got to kind of get back to the roots and local tracks. But I mean, if there's not enough inventory, if there's not enough people to go do it, then who's riding the tracks?
Yeah, there's,
You know what I
that's the
mean?
problem. Yeah.
That's the problem. There's not enough kids because of all the shit we talked about in the beginning of the show, which
But,
was
okay,
the
so
distractions.
so this is exactly what you just said. This is what BA has told me in a conversation before. He said exactly that. And I said, the one part that you're missing in that is that kids love to ride their bikes.
Yeah.
So having said that, if nationals only allow experts and pros and girls,
Gotcha.
where
Yeah.
are these kids that love to ride going to ride? They're going to go back to their local track to ride. So it's really, in my opinion, to solve this problem, you got to limit the nationals. And then their reply was, well, how do we sustain ourselves with a loss of income? This is
That's
what
right.
said. I'm not putting him down for saying it. It's a legitimate response from him. But
Yeah.
it's like I said to him, I said, look, so you're a business, ABC company decides to reinvent themselves a little bit. They got to take some money and they got to invest it, which means they're going to lose some money for a short term. And then they're going to see the return on investment over the next 2, 3, 4 years. It takes time. And that you take 2 steps backwards and take 4 or 5 steps forward. And they don't want to do that. They want to pull in the big rig, open up that window, take the $80 per class, run the race, and get to the next town.
Yeah, you're
So
right.
if you don't limit the entrance at nationals,
Right.
who's trickling back to the local track? No one.
Right.
They're just not.
At least not to race.
No.
Right.
That's
At
right.
least not to race. And but it's true, right? And so, I mean, it's really going to require, I mean, it's a multifaceted issue to grow it back, if you will, right? And it has to do
They
with,
have to invest in their company,
that's
the
right.
USA BMX.
Right.
They have to invest by doing more for their tracks.
And
by
take a
looking at
risk.
National entrance, and maybe not have, I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, but maybe not have 60 nationals a year. Let's just throttle it back to 30, you know?
But
I'm just saying.
But it is.
Well, they'll lose all kinds of money. Well, they're losing money now because, for instance, where I live, there's no track, and I'm
Slowly.
not gonna drive 2 hours to a track. I won't do it. But if a track popped up down the road and my grandson who lives out back wants to ride, I'm going to take him.
I think one is a slow bleed and the other one is a, you know, right now they're gradually losing a little bit more, right?
And as long as it's a family operated business and there's no shareholders to be beholden to, it's never going to change. As long as you have those people running the sport, it will not ever change. And then anyone who comes along, like we've all seen, oh, Joe Blow, he's a multimillionaire. His kid just started racing. Wow, he should get into it. Yeah. All you got to do is sit down for 15 minutes with a pen and paper and a calculator, and you quickly learn there's no money to be made here.
Not in the current
kid racing, and I don't need to do a new sanction. There's no money in this.
Right.
Unless you're running 90 nationals.
Yeah.
90, maybe have more nationals.
With the current structure, you're right, Greg, there probably isn't. Right? So it would, but if you were to, nobody's going to come in and invest money. Nobody is, well, I can't say nobody, you never know, but it's not smart money to take a bunch of money and invest it in to try to start a new sanction when you could go buy a bunch of apartments or condos or other things that are going to give you.
It'd be way cheaper to buy the USA BMX, fire everybody, and start over. You got to burn the house down,
right,
to rebuild it.
But that's why we only see one sanction, right? Because
exactly why.
Nobody who has the money to start a new sanction is going to invest in starting a new sanction because it's not smart money.
Well, and you know, if somebody had the money, they wouldn't have the patience.
No.
No, I would put Charles in charge of the finance.
Yep.
There we go.
I would put Greg in charge of selling tent space in the pits.
No. Yeah. Hey, Hillage is in charge of customer relations.
Customer relations.
Man, either you like it or
Hey.
you love it, dude. Next.
This
Tell
is
us,
it.
you want a refund?
Put the hand out.
Yeah.
Hey, dear customer, let me just start with this. No, beat it.
Beat it.
Yeah.
Next.
Next.
Listen, you don't like one lap of practice, $80 entry fees, transfer system. I don't give a shit. Next. There you go.
Perfect.
In a sense, that's what they're doing right now, really.
We would put EC in charge of the snack bar.
There we go. We have wings, pizza. We got it all.
We lose a ton of money.
Yeah.
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 You see, it'd be eating all the profits.
And you know what? We'd have James. He'd be running the whole software program with.
Oh, geez.
James is hawking t-shirts.
Posting photos at all the nationals. You know,
James is selling the t-shirts.
I'm giving that up.
Hollywood, what are you doing?
Dude,
He's
I'm running
cheerleading.
I told you, I'm running the petting zoo.
That's right.
dropping gates.
Yeah. Can I tell you, I love doing the gate at Dirty Fest.
You do, huh?
I do. You know why? You've been up there. You know why?
It's the one place you can't be bothered. That's for sure. You're running the gate.
Yeah, I'm running the gate, and it's a
All the
stand-up
banter.
routine. It's
Yeah.
I have an audience, man. I'm up there.
Yeah.
You just come up to the gate for a while and stand around and listen.
Yeah.
I'm just dude, I am just ripping into everybody.
All day. It's just the banter all day.
That's good. Man.
Dude, are you really racing in those pants? Does your sister know you're racing in her pants? Stuff like that the whole time. Just ripping into
I think
people
it's time
on the
for
gate.
It's time for some chicken wings or some pizza, dude. I gotta eat something, bro. I've been
Okay.
That's
watching
why I
YouTube.
do it, bro. That's why I do it on screen.
I know, dude.
Look at that empty.
It's true.
Multitasker.
Oh my god.
Right.
There you go. Awesome.
Hey, brothers. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate you having us. The best part was seeing Chuck T. I seen his
I know.
name in the upper right hand corner, and I'm like, holy shit, Chuck T's here. And he
Chuck
showed
T's.
up. Cool.
Man,
I love
it's always good fun hanging out with you guys. I mean, lots of laughs. We've done a lot of things together, been to a lot of places together, and it's always when Greg, when Mike texted me earlier this afternoon, hey, we're going to be on with Hillage. I'm like, hell yeah.
Dude, that text came back in 2 seconds. Hell yeah.
That's awesome.
Then he sent me the middle finger emoji.
That's
There we
right.
go. It's all about that, man. Right on.
All right, guys.
Hey, man, thank you for having me, and good seeing all you guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for all the
Great
editing.
seeing you guys.
Nice one,
Hey.
boys.
Yep. ECJV, you guys
Hey.
stay on for a second?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
guys. See you.
When you get some blowback from T and Ronnie, I need to hear. I want to hear about it.
Oh, blowback. Oh, I thought you meant
Yeah.
something else.
Yeah.
I thought you meant something else. All right. Yeah.
All right, guys.
All right, guys. We'll see you later.
Talk to you soon, and take care.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that one, you bunch of dirty knobs. So please do that. Subscribe, hit the subscribe button. Comment if you have anything to say. We'd love to hear it. And we will be back out here in 2 weeks with another one. And thanks to our sponsors. Speaking of which, we are going to read some commercials to you now. Thanks for showing our sponsors the love because they're showing it to us. Thanks again, and we'll catch up to you soon.
Hey, this is John Cruz. No, we're not having an earthquake. I have Parkinson's. What do you think of that, Michael?
We ought to pitch in and get you a gimbal.
That would be nice. But seriously, this is John Cruz, and I obviously have something going on, and I was diagnosed with Parkinson's 20 years ago this year, actually. So I've chosen the Davis Finney Foundation over the years to be my voice for Parkinson's. If you're not familiar with the Davis Finney Foundation, Davis Finney is one of the winningest cyclists in American history. He's the roadie, if you guys remember those roadies out there, all that Lycra and stuff. But he is just a great man. When he was diagnosed with Parkinson's, he decided to make a difference in people's lives. And his choice was to start a foundation. And that foundation obviously wishes for a cure for Parkinson's, because there is no cure at this time. But they recognize that you have to live with Parkinson's, and your caregivers are having to live and take care of us. And the Davis Finney Foundation, that's what they do, is they only look for a cure, but they look for ways to enhance the quality of life for Parkinson's sufferers and their caregivers. So I appreciate all of you supporting the Davis Finney Foundation. It certainly means a lot to me. I know we all have something, right? So I think it's important to give back to our communities, whether it's BMX or a foundation that's close to your heart. If you don't have one, please choose mine. I appreciate you.
Well, thank you, John Cruz. You certainly have made a difference in a lot of lives, including mine, and giving us the opportunity to do something good for somebody else is fantastic. So thank you. Thank you so much. And on behalf of John Cruz, please find a way to give something to the Davis Finney Foundation on behalf of John Cruz, the Dirty Knobs, and your entire BMX family. Thank you very much.
All right, all you old coots and young speed demons. This is Todd Huffman with the Frogtown Classic International BMX Days, going on its 4th year this September 6th through the 8th in Angels Camp, California. A little over 4 months away until you guys are able to tear up that downhill track once again. The one that started it all, the Frogtown Classic International BMX Days 2024.
Okay, so we're ready for this? So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, record. Hey guys, this is Bill Ryan. I'm the owner of Supercross, and I'm now the caretaker of Torker. Now, Torker, you might see right above the shoulder here of this dirty knob, Mike Miranda. He's got a Torker jersey. He's a Torker alumni. We've been working for 9 years to bring Torker back to its original foundation, to its original roots, to its original twin top tube radness. A bunch of really cool restoration, remake, new versions of what you remember from your childhood that you actually get to ride. If you're in the UK, Alan's BMX, what a fun project. 9 years of my life has been dedicated into this to try and bring more fun to everybody out there. You need to ride a Torker. For more information, you just go to torkerracing.com or follow us on Torker Racing on Instagram. Boom, you're going to get to see all the inside stuff.
And then sing it out right now.
All right, coming live and direct from the Colt Clubhouse in Santa Ana, California. Come on down and get all your BMX needs. We're giving away free air for your tires. That's all I got, brother.
That's great. That's great. All right. Now.
It's perfect.
Perfect.
Velocity Bike Park is the premier bike park for riders in Southern California, with 25 miles of world-class trails, obstacles, flow track, and races for mountain biking, gravel, and BMX.
Ultramax, when you get home from the races, do you feel dirty? I mean, is your bike dirty? Really dirty? I know you're dirty. Well, that's when you need the Ultramax sponge, guaranteed to get all your hard to reach places clean. I know, because Hollywood is always dirty. Not available where reading glasses and bobbleheads are sold, but you can still get an Ultramax t-shirt at dirtyknobs.com.
B-Side Bikes, the very best in original vintage BMX and motocross parts. With many parts to choose from, we are consistently selling and buying. Hit us up for your special requests. Chances are we can find it. Since 2015 and family ran B-Side Bikes. The passion never fades at B-Side Bikes. It just continues. B-Side Bikes.
Hi everybody, Toby Henderson, founder of Box, co-founder of American BMX Companies, the owner of Race Inc., Botima, and Cook Brothers Racing. We brought these two companies together to bring you the best quality products you can get for a BMX bike. We're all about the rider, so please check out our Level Up and Rider First programs. See you at the track.
ODI Grips, the world leader in grip technology, home of the lock-on grip system. Check them out over at www.odigrips.com.
4416 Designs commercial. Take one.
There you go. All right. 4416 Designs. We make shirts, but we don't sell them. We're just giving back to the sport. If you're out at Ukaipa BMX and you need a shirt, hit me up. I'll hook you up with one.
Yeah, I love that.
Mega Design Group is a full-service marketing firm. They handle everything from logos to advertising to packaging. Having over 25 years experience in the print and marketing fields, they can handle any hurdle. Check it out at megadesigngroup.com. Cool Stop Brake Pads. High-performance bicycle brake pads since 1977. Check them out at coolstop.com. That's KOOLSTOP.com.
Hey, you dirty knobs! You've been watching the Dirty Knob Podcast with Mike Miranda, Aaron Carter, and James Vicente. Guess what? Now, I'm Bill Ryan. This is Supercross BMX. You need to click on the supercrossbmx.com. Come on over. Buy stuff. We need to sell stuff so we can keep in business, so we can keep supporting the show. Come on. Do it.
Hey bro, how's it going? Go check out the new apparel at supercrossbmx.com. We got straw hats for those bright days. We got the retro long sleeve. We got the global shirts. We got the speed check jackets. And last but not least, we got the trimmers. Go check it out.
Hey everyone, this is Brian Wilson with ProGate. We are the official gate supplier for UCI and the Olympics. We even make a gate that you can practice on in your driveway at home.
Wait a minute, who else are you making a gate for?
We're making a gate for Dirty Fest. You guys got to come and check it out. Whatever Dirty Fest needs for this track, we're going to supply it. We're not some French knockoff, you know. We're the gold standard in BMX gates. And make sure to check us out at progate.net and bmxtracksupply.com, and we'll see you at Dirty Fest for sure. Take care, everybody.
Hey, folks, this is Mike Rodriguez, a.k.a. Mr. Crit. I've been racing and making number plates since 1980. You know, like when they used to do one pedal starts. But you know, Crit Plate has been around for 43 years. The last 4 decades, the who's who of BMX have raced a Crit number plate straight to the handlebars. And you know, you get that guy Mike Savage, the international man of BMX, still doing it strong. And you know, back in the day, the plates used to be reversible because there was multiple sanctions, and you could put, you know, one sanction on one side, one on the other. Now you just got one. But Crit is still reversible, and that logo is still on the back. For guys like Mike and you rad guys, you know, like Mike Miranda, who would turn those handlebars and twist them up. And we got it rad just for you.
All right. Hey, where will we see those plates?
Those plates you can see at every single bike shop that stocks BMX stuff in the USA and Canada.
And where will you be at? Will you be at an event sometime soon?
Damn, I'm sponsoring the Dirty Fest. And I can't wait to come out to Southern California and get dirty.
Amy grips, still made here in the USA.
used by world champions like me, Tommy Brackens. If you want to know more about the best grips on earth, go to amy.com.
All right, Mark, you ready?
Yeah.
Hey guys, how's it going? This is Dino Bartoli from ABSA Pro.
And I'm Mark Darcy from ABSA Pro.
Together, we are bringing you the ABSA Pro Bike Show Association. Our mission is to bring together a bike show community across the United States. We have these bike shows. We're going to run them all the same with consistent rules and a detailed, organized judging format. We wanted to make an organization so that you guys can get points. So there's a point system, a code of conduct, rules and regulations. We have a membership that's specifically old school bike shows. You want to get on board all that hard work and dedication that you put into your bikes. You want to show it off. You want to have it justified, all that hard work you've done. You want to bring it out to our shows. You want to join our memberships, get associated with us.
Actually, our awards are phenomenal awards. We have best of show trophies. We have 17 classes. There's 3 trophies per class. And we even hand out super clean awards to some of the other participants that are there. So come check it out. Come bring your bikes, enjoy the shows, and enjoy what we're doing with the bike show community.
Don't forget to sign up.
Our website has all our judging critiques on it, how we judge, what we judge, our 50-point scale with quarter points. We take it down to the nitty-gritty to make sure the best of the bike wins.
Dino, where do we go to find out that information?
You go to absapro.com. That's absapro.com.
Let me say that again, absapro.com.
Ready?
And that's going in.
Yeah. We need a doing. All right.
What's your nickname for like on the mic? Do you have a?
No.
You don't have.
I don't really have a nickname. It's Mike.
Oh.
Just Mike on the mic.
Pain in my ass.
She got one.
That's getting edited.
Yeah.
We're putting that in.
Hi, I'm Mike Miller, author of Day One by Michael Miller. And a special offer going out. Anybody who buys the book between now and Dirty Fest, which is April 28th through 30th, I'm going to take all the money from the book and send it to the Davis Finney Foundation for those with Parkinson's. So get your copy on Amazon.com and we'll make a donation.
Hey, what was the name of that book again?
Day One by Michael Miller, which is me.
I'm sorry. Hey, what was that name again?
Day One by Michael Miller.
Hey, support the podcasts that support us, our friends. The fine folks over there at All Things BMX, which is our favorite Wednesday night live podcast, as you know. Our buddies over there at Beer Budget BMX, Big Bike BMX, and BMX Weekly. Check them out. Check them out. Our friends.
What's up, everybody? It's your friend Isaac from Big Bike BMX, and I've got a podcast with my best friend, 80s BMX Craig.
Yep. And guess what, you guys? If you have enjoyed your time here on the Dirty Knobs podcast, we'd love for you guys to come over and hang out with us at Big Bike BMX, where we've got all your old school legends and BMX from the past and today at Big Bike BMX. Isaac,
come check us out. We'd love the opportunity to win you over. And if not, hey, it's just another place to talk about BMX with your grimy friends. It's fun.
Hey, Dale Holmes, I want to tell you something. One of my favorite podcasts that I never miss is BMX Weekly. Even though it has an accent, I still love it.
Cheers, Mike. You can get all the podcasts on bmxweekly.com. Old school, mid school, today's school. Check it out.
Yeah, BMX Weekly.
Hey, here we go. Hey, Beer Budget BMX, baby. Coming at you live from the Beer Budget studios over here at the Hack Shack Quarantine. Oh, man, we're coming in hotter than Satan's nutsack. Yeah, we are dirtier than an Alabama strip club where reclass pros go and get lap dances by their half-sister. Yeah, the only show that'll make you second-guess your life choices like a Amish on an e-bike.
hey, if you guys enjoy what you just listened to, make sure you tune in every Wednesday night to the All Things BMX show, the only live streaming podcast show in the game right now.
Even ask Mike. He's been on. Vicente's been on. Still waiting for that other guy to come on the show. You can find us on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. And you can also find us at allthingsbmxshow.com.
Keep it dirty.
Do you think, and you're editing this out, right? I mean, it doesn't matter. But
If you want to come out of the closet now, and I won't, I promise I won't. No, I'm leaving this in.
Don't fall for the old banana in the tailpipe.
Is he just?
I love my kids, but if they wanted to race BMX, I'd say fantastic. Go ahead. There's no way we could afford. There's no way we could afford to take our kids to races like that.
No way.
They'd have to mow lawns like I did, or they'd have to, give out jobs like Charles did, or what, they have to do their own thing. However you got, however you make your nickels, you make your nickels. That's your own,
We didn't.
By the way, I still owe you 15 cents, Charles. Thank you.
We raced a little
yes,
bit.
Yes, I have to edit that out.